Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Top 8 of Apple Orchard Cup 3. I hope everyone is excited for some good matchups today. How are you feeling about it, Lyra?
I'm very excited to be here. I'm very excited to see these matchups. I've been looking at the names that are in this tournament bracket, and we have some exciting matches ahead of us, guys.
It's always exciting. You see the classics, you see Vince out there, but I mean we've got some new ones in Top 8. I'm looking forward to see that I don't see very often. So
I
it's
love
definitely
that the
gonna be a
game
fun
just
one.
dinged me to tell me to watch this stream. I mean, I'm already here because I'm
Yeah,
cool.
we're already in front seat, ready for it.
Yeah. And guys, we have some insanely cool graphics for you guys. I hope you guys like graphics because boy, do we have graphics. And I got a sneak peek of those. You guys, you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, we saw it a little bit before it started. It's looking good. You'll be excited for some new stuff. But I believe we're gonna be starting off our first match, which is gonna be Applejack versus Gohan. Both players in the room already.
And for
I'm
those of you
looking.
who don't know, this tournament is a Tetrio major qualifier. We can talk a bit more about that in a second, but first we have our player cards here.
Yeah, both players obviously very skilled. I think we all know Gohan as the player who's been rising over the ranks the last year, I would say, and has become pretty cracked. But obviously, Applejack is no slouch themselves, so I'm looking to see how they'll be able to compete.
Yeah, love that we've replaced the friend count with AR. I think it is a very fun stat to keep track of here. So we do see this AR diff. Would you agree that AR is kind of who likes to play the most quick play mods?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's everything, but if you want to be on the top, it's certainly a big one. It has a big impact. I will say I will miss the friend score. It was always a great metric for I guess supporters, but it'll still be missed, but obviously error is a little bit more telling for what these players can do.
Yeah, and pay attention to these cards. We have the Hurricane and Endless Dedication. There's a lot that went into this, so definitely pay attention.
Like we started a set and then immediately aborted it. That's how we like to start our top eights. But yeah, it looks like we're getting into the warm up now.
All right, and we do see some very fast play to start this off here. The opener gaming is going.
Yeah, they're already going speedy. Both of them nearly 5. Ooh, but looks like Gohan just getting a little too pressured, not able to keep up with that 5 PPS by Applejack. Getting a nice fast warm up win in there.
Yeah, and that's what we have in store for this topic. What you just saw right there is there's going to be more of whatever that was. So
Yeah, it's a little hard to keep up, but hopefully you'll get used to it.
and we are getting our match started. No wait time here. Let's just get straight into it.
Yeah, these players are ready to go. They don't need any rest up after that warm up. It was pretty short, to be fair.
So I see this as a first to 7 here. Yeah, it's supposed to be first to 11.
Ooh.
They're asking Andrew to abort the match.
Need a second abort already. Starting strong. There we go. Early third time's the charm. Okay, I think we are finally good to go and ready to go. There we go.
There we go. All right, first to 11 plus 2. So if we do start to get towards the end, we can go into that deuce situation. Go on with the misdrop on that opener.
Rough start, but very cleanly fixed it. Not even a worry for a second. And now they're the ones pressuring well. Applejack does have a massive spike to counter, but still sitting at the top, forced to break their back-to-back there. Meanwhile, Gohan just all spinning their way through.
Ooh, that 24 spike is insane, but Applejack handles that, has some more T-spin set up and ready to go. Gohan is definitely in charge of the back-to-back for now.
Yeah, they have that pressure. Applejack is in the hot seat at this point in time. They're still able to downstack through it, but dealing with a bit of cheese at the same time. Forced to downstack in the meantime. Looks like I thought Gohan set a huge spike, but Applejack got nothing, so maybe I just was missing something there.
Yeah, these players are so good at screen watching, knowing what their opponent is up to and being able to mitigate stuff, but that is quite the spike, and Applejack is not able to handle that. Gohan takes the first point here.
Yeah, first round, 250 APM at 4.5 PPS. That's how we like to start it in these types of tournaments. Oh, that was a quick round. Gohan just, I don't know, I think that might have been a loop, but Applejack not ready to counter it.
Yeah, that was a TKI into PC, so, or...
That's a favorite of mine.
It is nice.
I mean, whatever it was, it worked out.
Yeah.
It looks like this round they did make it back into the mid game. Both of them building up that back. Gohan choosing to break it there instead of trying to keep it going, but still has a perfect well to continue. Applejack on the other side had to break theirs as well, and getting pressured by 315 APM. Okay, Gohan. That's what we like to see. That 40
spike
here
from Gohan was insane, finding the quads and the down stack in the middle of that to just send an unlivable attack over to Applejack there.
Yeah, that's how it goes when you're playing Gohan. They're relentless.
22 spike versus a 29 spike that turns into a 37.
40 spike into 37 spike the next round. That round was 340 APM. These numbers are a little bit much for even me to comprehend.
Yeah, there's not a lot of players who you can send a 22 spike to them and still just die immediately after, but I guess Gohan's one of them.
Well, that's the fear. If the spike's not big enough, they'll just counter back. But speaking of, Gohan not ready, has that misdrop on the top, and Applejack taking that first round.
Yeah, but this is quite the uphill battle. If Applejack wants to get a handle on this soon, they've got to start going now. And they're going for this SDPC. It's been a very popular open in this Season 2 meta. They're slowed down a little bit here with a misdrop among it, and that's a lot of cheese on their board.
Yeah, forced to downstack, just barely getting to that eyepiece, but still does not have that clean of a board. And in the meantime, Gohan still pressuring with his back-to-back getting the kill. Yeah, this is just a struggle for Applejack. They're just in the backseat this whole set.
Some very clean play here from Gohan is coming through, and I feel like a lot of us who've seen them play before are not very surprised at the clean gameplay here.
Yeah, they're just constant pressure. They have that all-spin ability as well. Applejack not ready to compete. I mean, so far, the only round that Gohan has lost, it was because of their own mistake rather than Applejack pressuring and killing on their own. So it's really a tough battle ahead for Applejack if they want to get any rounds off.
Gohan with not the greatest board state. They're going to have to downstack this here as Applejack is just sending this LST, this 34 spike, and Gohan can't do anything about it. That O-piece doesn't kick, and that is going to be another round for Applejack.
Finally gets that second one. Maybe I spoke too soon. That was good pressuring. Not so much mistakes on Gohan's part. That was just good play by Applejack. But it's another round now, and we'll see who is the one pressuring this time.
Yeah, a little bit of opener flunking here in this early game. Early spike from Gohan there as Applejack keeps this back-to-back. They break it with a 12 spike. 31. And that's going to pressure Gohan up at the top of the board here, and that does look like a misdrop given how they reacted.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate eyepiece. Oh, that completely covered their well. Did not have good pieces to recover from there. And, I mean, Applejack's slowly bringing it back.
Yeah, Gohan's definitely finding some momentum.
Yeah, they're bringing it up here. Gohan's still obviously having a solid lead here, but it's inching closer. Applejack's definitely not giving up without the fight here. And you can see here, Applejack not breaking their back-to-back while Gohan is forced to, and now they're in the deficit here, trying to find their way out of this position.
Interesting stacking from Gohan to stay alive here as that minus 18 is on the board. Their board is a mess, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, and I think, was that 3 in a row by Applejack there?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure Gohan woke up at 6 a.m. to play this tournament, so that's an interesting piece of information we should keep in mind.
Well, that's how it usually goes for these players, unfortunately, but, you know, I feel like they've woken up at this point.
Yeah, they've been playing in this bracket for a little while now and have gotten to this top 8 that we're going to be watching on the stream. This is some very nice defense from Applejack here, dealing with Gohan spikes and being able to counter.
Yeah, it looks like neither of them able to back-to-back too much at this point. Just dealing with a lot of cheese and forced into positions where they can't keep it. Gohan does have a huge spike here, even without using Surge to kill. Manages to pressure perfectly with that clean, and finally gets their first point in, I believe, 5 rounds or 4 rounds.
Gohan going for those TD openers, I feel like that's something that I've been seeing less and less in Season 2 tournament gameplay, so I do love to see it. I always think they're fun.
Yeah, I tried picking it up a couple weeks, so it's a good one. I can say it's useful, and I mean, clearly it's been working. Gohan getting another win in the books here, throwing that lead back once again.
And then here's the stick spin. So we have 2 different variations of stick spin on either side here, which in my experience has been one of the most popular Season 2 openers.
Oh, I don't know if that was the messed up TST or intentional, but put Gohan in a funky situation. Looks like they made their way out of it. But still not the cleanest board, and Applejack timing that spike perfectly when Gohan wasn't ready.
Yeah, that was insane. Perfect punishment for that situation. Sometimes it's screen watching, sometimes it's luck. With how fast these players play, it is so hard to tell which is which.
Yeah, I feel like that was just a misread of their situation, and sometimes, I mean, they handled it well, but unfortunately it wasn't long enough in that position.
Gohan slowing down for some all spins here, but then they break back to back. Both players actually break and end up in a pretty neutral situation.
Gohan with that nice overhangless S-spin worked out well for them, keeping up that pressure, and Applejack not able to keep up. Sometimes the all-spin is enough. You might not even need to do T-spins to get those kills.
Yeah, and a lot of players have been noticing that all-spin will build your back-to-back and not send as much clean, and so although it's a difficult playstyle to maintain, there is always that incentive for it.
Yeah, I think Gohan is one of the few players that has really mastered that ability to just do all spins flawlessly, and you can see with spikes like that, they need one more to win this set.
Ooh, Applejack misdrops the opener.
Sitting at the top of their board, trying to make their way down, do not get to the eyepiece in time, and with that, Gohan takes it. Applejack did put up a good fight in the middle there, did get like 3 or 4 rounds in a row, but unfortunately, Gohan knows how to maintain that pressure. Nice, easy 230 APM. That's what you like to see from our players.
Yeah, very casual over here, but yeah.
Yeah, with that, I believe they will be moving on to winners finals. So good performance on them. We will be seeing Applejack later in the losers round. So wish them best of luck if you're rooting for them. But I believe next up we have a very, very fun one coming up. It's going to be Shark versus Turtle. And I am a big fan of both of these players. I feel like these players have both matched up a lot in this season, and I think they're ready to compete, to make it to winners semis or winners finals as well.
Yeah, we got the aquatic animal matchup out here. Very, very exciting.
That's true. I've never thought about that. I mean, we'll see. I mean, you would expect a shark to be able to beat a turtle, but I don't know. Turtle's been able to pull off some crazy stuff. I believe they got like 2 sprint PBs recently and are like sitting at like a 14.1 second PB now, which is just crazy.
That's ridiculous. Always insane to watch those sprint runs. They just do not look real.
I've shown it to some non-Tetris friends, and like, they have to be cheating, right? This can't be real, but it is somehow. Oh, we can see the stats from the last round here. Yeah, this is the graphics we were talking about.
Ooh.
Some nice play from both of them. You can see both of them having nice averages. You can see overall. I mean, Applejack did have some higher APM rounds there in the middle, but just couldn't maintain that consistency versus Gohan throughout the whole set.
I do like the way that looks, though. Very, very pretty.
It is nice and clean, yeah. As a person who likes data visualization, I can say I'm certainly a fan.
Yeah, we love the data visualization here, and we love the bracket. And this is what we have ahead of us here. This is our top 8, and we will get to see all these matches tonight. Stay tuned.
Looks like we're taking a look at losers here. We see Vince surprisingly sitting in the bottom of the bracket, which you wouldn't expect. Looks like they did end up losing to Applejack a little bit earlier, so I'm looking forward to see if they can go for a run here in losers bracket, because I believe they were seeded as the first seed, so I mean they're definitely capable of going for it. I believe right now we are just waiting for Shark to enter the room. Looks like don't know where they're at, but hopefully we'll be getting started with this next round shortly. Yeah, looks like they have made it into the room, and we might be starting with a warm-up here in just a second.
All right, we have our little stat screen up here.
Like Shark with the blank profile picture. I like that it's just an apple, nice and simple. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I am a big fan of apples. They are easily my favorite fruit. I eat them like usually 3 a day, I'll be honest. So I do love me some apples, so I'm a big fan of this tournament. Title on the premise alone.
What is your favorite variety of apple?
I mean, I've been a big Granny Smith guy for a long time. The thing I like about them is just they're like solid, and like with red apples, they can be more inconsistent. They can like sometimes be mushy, and I'm not as big of a fan of that. But sometimes I've been eating more red apples recently, and they've been good as well.
I'm a Gala apple fan. That's my go-to. Yeah.
Yeah, can't complain about a good old apple. But going back to the actual matchup here, we see both these players have obviously cracked stats. We see Turtle's got the little bit higher speed and APM, which makes sense with their sprint PB and all, but obviously Shark is no slouch. I don't know where they are currently in the TWC rankings, but obviously I assume they're very high up at this point in time. It looks like we're getting started with this warm-up.
Some LSC from Shark here.
Nice and simple start. Does get that all spin. Ooh, doesn't have the cleanest board. Trying to maintain that back-to-back wherever they can. Forced to break it at this point. Looks like Turtle as well, so not too much pressure on either side at this point.
A little bit of bonking.
Yeah, we can see some timing going on. Obviously, these folks are very fast, but they also know when to switch it up when needed.
I do love the Season 2 sound effects here. If you're unfamiliar with these, boy, do I love the sound for when it hits 20. Oh,
yeah,
no.
It looks like Turtle just knew they had a big enough lead with that surge, and they could just time it to pressure and kill. And with that, they take a nice, easy warm-up.
And we are off in another first to 11 plus 2. Both players setting off their C-spin here.
Yeah, got those TDs off. Works well enough for them. Looks like Turtle might have had some misdrops there. Playing it a little bit slower to start here. Not too much pressure going on, but I assume they will start to speed up as they start to build these surges as well.
Alright, Shark is building up this back-to-back here, using these all-spins to keep this going, but they do have to break in a 30 spike, 35 spike, but Turtle defends against it here with their own down stack.
And managed to cancel nicely with that little bit of surge they had. And looks like Shark now in the one in the hot seat, even though they had that advantage for half a second. That's how it goes. If you can survive your opponent's surge, then that's just free reign for you to capitalize going into pressuring. And looks like, oh my gosh.
That DT was so bold.
That was so big, but then the Irish shot.
And it worked.
It was still barely enough. I thought for sure Turtle was gonna punish there, but it looks like they couldn't get out in time.
Love a good DT at the top of the board there.
Sometimes you just gotta greed like that. If your opponent's in a worse position, it can work out.
Turtle going for the STP since then, while Shark was just going for the TKI into LST here.
Looks like Shark dealing with so much cheese now, but as I say that, Turtle also has a bunch of cheese on their board, so it might just be a downstack match at this point, but I mean, looks like Shark decided to just pressure and it worked perfectly.
Yeah, that 12 spike when Turtle's board didn't have any way to get down and defend is all that Shark needed to find that round. SDPC spins on both sides here. Going into the 6-3 or 3-6 situation, and
Turtle had that big spike, but Shark managed to go through it without breaking back-to-back at all and send a huge spike. It did send a good amount to Turtle, but looks like they seem to get out of it just fine. And Shark with a misdrop as well at the top here. They might have had a down stack if they placed that J piece there or had the I piece to skim, but a little too late. Oh, and that misdrop in the opener by Shark. It's gonna give Turtle the momentum at the start of the match here. They have such a clean well to work with. Keeping that back-to-back going. Does get the massive 42 spike. Shark just barely surviving at the top, though.
yeah, Shark on this down stack now using the material that Turtle gave, and Turtle it just has that back-to-back though. They're trying to build this back up, trying to punish here, but Shark's just staying alive.
Yeah, that down stack in the meantime gave Turtle the perfect chance to build back-to-back, and they're still going here. Shark is in a very dire position right now. They either need to start building up back-to-back to known or find a way for them to cancel and tank this all, but I think it was very unlikely at this point, especially with that misdraw. Wait!
Ooh.
Oh, I thought I spoke too soon for a second there, but looks like Turtle pulled it off.
I love the sound effects for that little ticking time bomb there. It is insane.
You love it, except when it's your opponent that's doing that. Then you're just like, just end my suffering already. Like Shark's just barely surviving at the top here again. Doing a good job with the survival, but not able to pressure too much. Only sitting at 140 APM here. I mean, Turtle also on the other side, not pressuring too much. They are starting to get more clean though and attacking, and looks like Shark had a bunch of misdrops there.
Well, they're plonking.
Starting it slow. Don't need to go fast every round, but maybe you should if you're Shark there. And now Turtle with 4 wins in a row here, starting to gain a bit lead, even though Shark started off strong with this set.
Both players utilizing these all spins here. I don't know if that was a misdrop from Turtle there.
I think they were trying to spin it and then just misdropped it. But yeah, looks like that gave Shark the chance to build back-to-back, but clearly not enough. Turtle was completely unfazed with it and is the one sending a huge counter spike at this point. Shark managed to
Ooh.
find the down stack. Oh my goodness!
What is Turtle doing?
Did they just assume that Shark was gonna die from that? I have to assume they like let go of their keyboard or something. What was that?
Oh, that was karma if I ever saw it.
This is why you can never give your opponent breathing room. If you assume you're dead, you are assuming wrong.
I've seen so many people in reference to matches at all ratings say, you know, that seemed a little bit overkill. That right there is why nothing is ever too overkill in this game.
Exactly. Unless they're dead, then the match isn't over. But it looks like Turtle taking that round in stride, managing to take another quick round back in the books. Turtle with these misdrops did have that nice pressure. Managed to clean it
Shark
up.
with worse misdrops.
Yeah, I just saw Turtle with misdrops. I did not notice Shark. Turtle managed to clean it up. Shark did not. Looks like Turtle is just doing these all-spin openers, which is nice to see. It's definitely nice to see people starting to do more all-spins in their openers, because it's something I haven't seen much of, and it's obviously useful for Season 2. But looks like they made it past the opener anyway, and now Turtle with a lot of clean start pressuring here, while Shark as well is building up that surge.
Yeah, and I've also seen both players make use of the more unconventional T-spins, but that misdrop with that eyepiece was unfortunate there.
Yeah. Shark did have the surge advantage, so they were likely going to take it regardless, but even still, Turtle still with a 2-point lead here. Still putting up a good fight. It's absolutely anyone's set at this point. Looks like Turtle a little bit more timing at this point in time, not focusing so much on the speed. Shark is the one that's just going all out right now. Does get that nice surge spike, but Turtle's not done here. Does counter with their own massive 28, but Shark is looking just fine at this point.
Yeah, Turtle's slowing down a little bit there to find the pieces that they need. It works out for them. And now Shark is up towards the top here. They're going to have to down stack this, and there are some clean wells ahead of them, but Turtle's just trying to pressure this right here.
Oh, that was such a nice S-spin to fix that, but it might just be not enough. Yeah, just Shark not playing fast enough, Turtle keeping that pressure, and now gaining a decent lead. 3 points, only needs 4 more to win this set.
Yeah, Shark is definitely going to have to find some momentum if they want to turn this around, and now is definitely the best time, and those misdrops, that's not even a... No, that is a misdrop. Sometimes you can never tell.
A misdrop, they managed to recover slightly, but they do need to fix it at some point in time. Now is the point where they need to focus on that. Turtle, on the other hand, getting a chance to build that back-to-back. Having their own misdrops, might need to break back-to-back here, or just sit at the top. Couldn't get the clear to cancel. That's the greed of trying to keep back-to-back. Sometimes you just put yourself in a position where you cannot break surge and you die because of it.
Yeah, a very common issue in Season 2. Always interesting to see it, though.
Yeah, it's not something you expect from a player like Turtle, but obviously we're all bound to make mistakes. But it looks like both these players are doing just fine this round. Turtle's just going well with that back-to-back. Both of them sitting at... both of them were at 11. Now Turtle does have a slight advantage, forced to break it as Shark breaks their own, and Shark just didn't have the eyepiece to clear.
More SDPC spinning.
As is expected. Looks like Shark with a lot of clean here. Turtle sitting at the top, does manage to get a counter spike. Shark forced to break their surge just to survive, but still getting constant pressure here by Turtle.
Yeah, Shark just trying to build up that back-to-back here. We see the -9 appear on Turtle's board, and Shark is just staying at the bottom. Trying to spam this all spin, and yeah, does have to break. Things end up pretty much even over here as... Okay, a nice down stack there from Shark, but push up to the top very quickly.
Yeah, just trying to find any downside they can, being constantly pressured, and Turtle has that back-to-back, but it doesn't even matter. Shark just couldn't get to the clean well in time, and Turtle now only 2 points away from moving on to winner's final. Shark really needs to pull something out here if they want to bring it back. Do get a nice mini, I was gonna say mini spike, but it's 38.
It's a 38.
Like it doesn't matter as Turtle just counters with a 20 of their own, sending Shark right back up.
Yeah, insane that that 38 spike leaves Shark up at the top of the board again, but Turtle's not looking in a great situation themselves.
Yeah, looks like they were forced to break Surge, but do manage to make it back into the clean, but still, Shark is continuing this pressure, trying to get back to the clean themselves to continue with attack here. Both of these players now dealing with a bit of cheese, but Turtle looks like with some misshops there couldn't recover it in time, and Shark is keeping it together, trying to stay alive.
Yeah, we have this opener game here again. Both players finding their back-to-back early on. Both breaking it with 19 spikes. Both of them, coincidentally, exact same spike.
That's how it goes. Sometimes it cancels out perfectly, but oh, looks like with that, Shark not able to tank in time, and now Turtle is at match point. If Shark wants any chance of survival, they need to win 4 in a row here. It's definitely going to be an uphill battle when you're playing someone like Turtle. Shark is playing a little too slow here, very hesitant. I think they are definitely worried about just making too many mistakes, but if you do that, it gives your opponent the chance to take advantage with their speed. And looks like we can see, I mean, Turtle's the one pressuring so much right now.
Blocking the... No, they messed it up!
They do manage to just barely clean it up, but it does give Shark the chance to go for that LST here, trying to continue with that pressure. And Turtle sitting at the top here, cannot find their way down, and Shark lives another day.
Yeah, Turtle's misdrops there were the nail in the coffin. There were multiple times there where those misdrops just absolutely ruined their board state and ultimately led it to the loss of that round.
They do still just need one more to win here, but Shark is not going down without a fight here. They do have this back-to-back right now. I don't know, was that a misdrop? I thought it was at first, but looks like it wasn't. It worked out perfectly, and they're still keeping it together.
Yeah, I was looking over at Turtle's misdrop. I don't know how much defense they would have had they not misdropped there, but maybe a battle of the misdrops on our hands here. Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, it's definitely common for players to have nerves, but I mean, Shark still has the advantage at this point in time. Just needs to win one more. Turtle needs to win 2 more just to bring it to deuce. And I mean, they're not giving up. They do have really clean well here, have that pressure ready to go. Forced to break out as they don't have the T-piece to continue, but still has a nice well to work with at this point in time. Forced to break that back-to-back. Turtle now sitting at the top here, trying to get to that clean well. Well, Shark is still pressuring so nicely here. Turtle definitely on the defense at this point. Still managed to survive nicely. Shark cannot get that final blow. And Turtle now with a massive spike here, forcing Shark to break out of their own back-to-back.
Yeah, Turtle trying to close this set out here with this point. Trying to build up their back-to-back, trying to take control back here. Breaking with a 20 spike.
Still not enough. Shark just barely surviving. They do have a lot of cheese on their board here. Need to find a down stack while maintaining that pressure. Turtle's gonna get the killing blow, and looks like they managed to make their way down at least a little bit here. But Turtle is still not stopping with the pressure.
And Turtle has that 15 back-to-back advantage over Shark right here. They're slowing down to try to find an STSD over the well. They do not find it and are all of a sudden on the down stack. There's a 17 spike. Shark is going to be able to handle that, but is slowing down for these all spins just a little bit here. Maybe for the all spins, or maybe because this is a long point. Reaching 2 minutes.
This is approaching, 2 minutes now. I think this is definitely the longest round we've had so far. I think both players very nervous at this point, really not trying to lose this point. I think if Shark takes another win, they're gonna have the momentum even though they're gonna be down one. And right now, both of these players have that surge. Shark forced to break it a little bit early. Turtle not stopping here, and Shark really in a bad position because not only are they sitting at the top, but Shark
Turtle misdrops the follow-up.
Oh no! Turtle in such a bad seat right now. Shark still pressuring here. Turtle trying to find their way down, not able to get it out. Shark just barely surviving that surge spike, bringing it 1 point from Deuce.
And that is a perfect example about how you need to not only break your surge, you need to follow it up. Turtle tried to follow it up, but misdropped that follow-up, meaning there was none, and it came back to bite them, and that's how the point ended.
That's how it goes sometimes. One mistake can be catastrophic, even though you played perfectly beforehand. Now Turtle's sitting at the top here. Shark not having too much to pressure on the other side. Both players just trying to build surge at this point in time.
Shark breaks that surge, sends an 18 spike here. Turtle defends against all of it. Both players with holes on their board for a little bit there, both trying to get back into it.
Oh, Shark was about to get that mini spike, misdropped the eyepiece, couldn't get the killing blow. Turtle just barely surviving again.
Turtle with a misdrop.
L misdrop at the top, trying to find a down stack. Well, Shark building up the surge, immediately breaks it. Turtle seems unfazed, but does have some cheese to get through.
Yeah, really feeling like Shark is in control of this right now. Turtle misdrops that T-spin there to open up the well.
Like I said, I mean, now Shark, even though they're still down one, they have the momentum in the last, I think it was 4 wins or 5 wins in a row here. Trying to get it back to Deuce here. Does have that surge, forced to break it. Turtle just managing to tank it. And now they're both, again, pretty much back and even.
Yeah, a little bit of cheese on Turtle's board here. They're going to have to try to figure out how to get through this. There's some all spins going on here. There's a break with a 25 spike, and that comes in really messy on Shark's board.
Yeah, now they're forced to try and downstack as much as they can. They are bursting here. Do manage to make it down. Has that C miss drop, trying to fix it. Just barely getting to the queen in time. Shark is still trying, or Turtle's still trying to pressure, not able to get much of a kill. And they're back to even in surge pretty much. Yeah, both breaking it at the same time. And Turtle's sitting at the top here. We are now in Deuce. I don't know how many that was in a row by. I think that was 4 in a row by Shark, managing to tie it back up into Deuce. This is not over, folks.
We love to see the Deuce here as both players are working with those openers. Shark was doing a little bit of flonking at the beginning there. Does break back to back first.
Oh, and looks like Turtle finally getting a win. Does get the lead back. This is what happens a lot of the time. I see a player manage to bring it back from being down 2 Deuce, but then immediately the opponent finally gets the win and keeps that lead. So it's definitely not over for Shark. They need to win another one and another one and another one, I believe, if they want to win it all. Oh, and it looks like it's not enough. And looks like Turtle managing to clutch it out. It was looking very, very sweaty for them at first, but they managed to clutch up in the end there.
Yeah, that is our first Deuce of the night. Very exciting to see. I do want to call out a contribution to the prize pool once I can find it again. Thank you, Cora, for contributing. The prize pool is now at $173, and if we get to 300, then we unlock the incentive of revealing the behind the scenes for this tournament. So definitely contribute to the prize pool if you want to see that. But we have our stat screen up here. Very cool to see.
I mean, yeah, both players, you could see they were, even though overall Shark had a slightly lower average, you could see they were competing. Like, neither had too much of advantage throughout the set. Even the last couple of rounds where Shark was winning a bunch, they did not have that big of an APM lead and still managed to clutch it out. But not in the set overall, Turtle managing to just win it overall, moving on to winners finals, as we saw, about to face Gohan, or we'll see the match in a little bit, but for now we're going to move down to the losers bracket.
Right, and we mentioned this at the start, but this is a TWC Platinum qualifier. Do you want to talk a bit about what that means?
Yeah, for those unaware, obviously we have the Tetria World Championship coming in only a couple months, I believe, from now. And what happens is we have a bunch of major qualifiers where you can, depending on how you place in those tournaments, you get points. And if you get enough points, I believe top 64 do manage to make it to the World Championship to see who is the greatest Tetrio player of the year. And I mean, I believe most of these players are already qualified because the first, I believe it's top 16 in points in the first couple months do auto qualify, and then the next 16 and so on. I can't explain the details because I don't know them quite that well myself, but I believe we do still have some players fighting to try and qualify. Like, we can see, I believe we're going to watch Vince play next, and they're still looking to make sure they qualify, so they definitely want to try and make it further in this losers run.
Yeah, and you can see within Tetrio, you can usually get to the TWC page where you can see all of the standings. And there's a lot of qualifiers, major qualifiers, minor qualifiers that'll happen. And it's getting towards the end, so these players trying to fight to solidify their seeding here, and for some of them, just trying to get in.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough battle. I did manage to make it just barely back in 2023, but it's definitely a lot more harder this year. So I don't know about that one, folks. But obviously, you're going to see some really good players coming up. And right now, I believe we are just waiting for Vince to enter the room, but they will be playing Keshi in the meantime, which I have not seen Keshi play in a good bit. So I'm looking forward to see how they've improved, because I mean, obviously making it to top 8 in a major is no easy task, and looks like they have the stats to show it, so we'll see how they manage to perform here against...
And you see that seed 19, you know they upset quite a few people to get to where they are.
Yeah, it's a get top 8 with while being seed 19 is no easy task, so we'll see how they can perform. Obviously Vince is the first seed, so it's going to be a rough matchup for them ahead, regardless of how much effort they put in. But obviously, we've seen crazier stuff happen here, so who knows? We did see Vince unfortunately get upset earlier in winners against Applejack, so we'll see if they manage to keep it up through losers.
Yeah, and Vince known to be an all-spin merchant, so hopefully we will see some of that come out, because it is really exciting gameplay to see.
Yeah, I personally am a big fan of all spin. I've heard some critiques of it, but I enjoy seeing it. As someone who is not very good at all spinning myself, it is crazy to see some of the stuff these players manage to do. Dingo saying seed 19 and top 8 is so unexpected that I could not think of an ability name. I don't know, something with unexpected or upset would make sense to me. It looks like both players might be ready here. We might get started in just a moment. Okay, looks like we're ready to go here. We'll see if these players want to warm up, and we'll get started right back into the action.
I think we're just waiting on Vince to ready up. And here we go. Looks like we're ready.
There's Vince with those all spins we were talking about.
Yeah, starting a bit slow here. Ooh, has that burst right there, but immediately into a miss drop. Keshi on the other side is sitting a little bit high up with a lot of cheese here, but also Vince on the other side has a lot to deal with right now, trying to find their way down. Does get a bit of all spin, but not enough to keep any surge going. And looks like both these players are about even. Keshi does have a little bit cleaner of a stack, trying to keep up this pressure here. Does start to build up that surge, but Vince is going at their own pace as well, managing to get a huge spike there with their surge. And with that quick warm-up, we'll get right into the match. We'll see what Keshi managed to pull off against Vince here. It's gonna be... They've been able to get a few upsets already, but getting an upset against the 1 seed as a 19 seed, I'm not sure I've seen that myself, unless it's like a DQ for being like AFK.
And it looks like there was a DQ for Keshi to even get here in the first place, according
Oh, so they
to
had a losers
Applejack.
run as well? Are you saying the opponent they were playing?
Their
DQ?
opponent DC'd.
I see,
Okay.
I see,
Well,
okay.
what are... Oh,
Okay.
goodness.
Okay,
Okay.
TSD opener, that's what we like to see. Interesting strategy. I mean, it has that back-to-back start for them. Forced to break out of it as Vince is already getting that big spike. And Vince with the PC? What? Okay. I was not ready for that one, but looks like Vince was. Okay,
Yeah, this
okay.
opener is insane. That is like certified. It works.
Yeah, Keshi is definitely known for her all spins, but that is not an opener I've ever seen anyone use.
That is
so.
insane. And look at the way it's like, okay, they're going for a normal stack now. The way it's built, I think, is the most insane part. It looks like it's a pile of misdrops until they slide one piece into place and oops, it's a TST tower.
Yeah, that I was not expecting that ice spin. I thought there was just a misdrop there, but it worked out for that first round. But looks like it's not gonna be great for them right now. Vince has that huge surge ready. Looks like Keshi does manage to barely survive it. Still sitting a little bit high here. Vince decides to time here. As they see, Keshi is still surviving even these massive spikes, but this one might be a little too big even to survive for them.
Yeah, just too much garbage too quickly.
Looks like someone linked the opener in the chat. Apparently it is called Butterfly.
I love that.
I mean, it's a new one to me for sure.
Same here, but you know, there's a first time for everything, and it wouldn't be the first opener to absolutely baffle me.
But at this point in time, we're out of this opener. It looks like Keshi getting sent a huge spike does manage to cancel it for the most part, but now has a misdrop on their own end, trying to find a down stick here with the I-piece misdrop, the O-piece misdrop, and I think they might have just given up after that.
Yeah, after a couple of misdrops, especially against Vince, sometimes you just gotta take the L. You just gotta top out. You just gotta go next.
Yeah, looks like they're going for it again.
Oh, insane.
It's so crazy.
I would love to speak to whoever came up with this opener and just be like, how did you figure this out?
Yeah, I mean, I assume it's someone in Yakin's server just messing around with T-spins. They are big fans of going for fancy stuff like that, but it does not matter against Vince. Vince can do fancy stuff of their own volition and get those wins. Looks like Vince just nice spike there, keeping that back-to-back in the meantime.
Keshi just struggling to try and catch up. Already at that surge deficit here. And Vince is still pressuring here and is relentless. Might be forced to break it or just do a very clean donation there to keep it going. And get that massive 48 spike. Keshi looks like not able to find any downstack out of it. Yeah, cannot get through it. And Vince already taking a nice commanding lead in this set. Looks like both of them opting to go for a nice basic opener here. Not anything too fancy. As I say that, Vince already going for that all-spin magic. Gets a 50 spike! Okay, Vince.
Okay.
That wasn't even that crazy of a surge. It was just a nice multiplier spike on top of it. Okay, I thought this was a new opener. Okay, this is just
No,
the same
that's
opener.
just how insane it looks. It looks like it's not going to be a TST tower, and then oops, it's a TST tower.
It's like five different ways to set up, but it doesn't matter. Vince just counters it. I think they're just going for the style points at this point. I think they know that this is gonna be a impossible battle, so they're just trying to flex the chat.
I mean, if you've gotten this far in the tournament, might as well use the opportunity to just confuse everyone involved.
Yeah, just show off your skills here, and I mean, they're doing a nice job. Still struggling to survive here past the opener, not able to get much to downstack here, and Vince already with a 7-point lead here, just needs 3 to move on here. We'll see if Keshi is able to do any more damage in the meantime. Like, was Vince looking for a PC there? I'm not too sure.
I have no clue.
I feel like
You never know what Vince is looking for.
That's true. Vince is an anomaly, as always. I don't know if that JP was a mix-up. I saw the fix, but you didn't need to do that, but it doesn't matter. It works out for them. That's just the Vince way of doing it. Even with that surge deficit, they still managed to get the win. And again, Keshi with his opener going out of nowhere. Vince on the other side with a PC out of nowhere. Looks like they might have had another one, but immediately missed shots and couldn't follow it up. Keshi does manage to send Vince a good amount, but obviously Vince was able to downstack through that quite easily here.
Yeah, Vince is building up this back-to-back here. You see this -8 appear on Keshi's board, and Vince breaks it with a 24 spike. Keshi is up at the top of the board, but alive. Vince's follow-up, not a 50 spike that time, which allows Keshi to survive.
Yeah, Keshi did have a misdrop, but it looks like Vince did not pressure at the right moment and let Keshi get out of it just barely. Vince with not the cleanest stack right now. Does manage to all spin their way down through it. Very nicely done here. But Keshi in the meantime has been building a small surge there, but it might not matter as Vince sends a nice 26 spike there. And yeah, Keshi sitting at the top. Even if they made it down through that clean, they had so much cheese under it. And with that, Vince now at match point already. I think they might have misdropped that opener there, managing to fix it with style points with these all spins. I don't know how they managed to keep back-to-back through all of that. Finally decides to break out of it as they are forced to. Looks like Keshi is unfazed at it whatsoever, but even still, that was a crazy back-to-back made by Vince. It looks like they're going for just even more all spins, just flexing at this point. They know they probably have this set in the books regardless, so they just want to show off as well. And Keshi trying to find a downstack, just barely managed to survive there, but still being constantly pressured by Vince. And gets the Trinity. That's not one.
Yeah, the Trinity is great. I love to see a good Trinity setup.
It's not very common at the high play just because people know that it's very TP dependent. They did manage to pull it off though. And it looks like Vince here on the other side dealing with some misdrops.
Yeah, Vince bringing his board back to a good state with a Finn for no reason.
I don't know the last time I've seen a Finn, so I was surprised by that one.
Oh no, the misdrop from Vince there.
Is it going to be a Finn to win or no? Time to get the win in the books here. Keshi does manage to start building up the search here. Really getting
This drop.
Still managing to downstack all that. Doesn't matter. Unfazed whatsoever. And now, yeah, Keshi couldn't do anything to counter it. That's just Vince for you.
I love that Keshi's 1 point is from the butterfly opener.
Yeah, I'm glad they managed to get a win with the butterfly opener.
Love that
It was
for them.
not a sweep just because of that. I think Vince was intimidated seeing that for the first time, and it worked out. But obviously, regardless, I think that was just a flex showing for Keshi, just showing off their T-spins, and Vince moving on into, I believe it's losers quarters, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds right, but I'm also not entirely sure.
I don't know, I'm bad with numbers.
And speaking of numbers, we can see APM here. In those last few rounds, very similar between the two players, but we can see what Vince did around the center.
Yeah, Vince was playing a little bit light at the end there, but looks like it doesn't seem too much, or it doesn't matter too much on who has the APM advantage. Vince won most of the rounds regardless. And with that, I believe we are moving down to see OSW versus Akma, which is going to be interesting. I've obviously seen these players play many a times, but I don't know if I've seen them play against each other, so I'm very curious to see how their play styles will clash.
Now there's a KTS discussion going on in the chat. Yeah, these players do hit a lot of keys really, really fast, so yeah, can confirm.
Who's 124 KPS? Hello, Arctic. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, OSW, another player known for being fast, and I don't know as much about Akma's playstyle, but we will get to learn very soon as both the players are now in the lobby.
Yeah, Akma definitely speedy on their own end. 16-second sprint right here. PB not too long ago. Only if like 42 days ago. So they have that speed. You can see that even in TL they are playing faster. They do have that APM pressure, but I think you can definitely not sleep on OSW. Obviously, they have an ability to turn up their pressure and speed when needed. So it'll definitely be a good one. Seed 7 versus Seed 6. So this is going to be a good fight for sure.
Alright, and it looks like our players are deciding warm-up here.
OSW looks like they do not need it. They're ready to go regardless. Let's see if Akma wants to play up some warm-up or not on their end. It looks like they do.
Yes.
And with that, I believe we're ready to get it going. Was that just a 6-3 opener? It didn't look like they set up any setup. It doesn't seem to matter though. Akma with the misdrops at the top immediately getting topped out. And with that, we're ready to get it going. We'll see if Akma managed to misdrop a little bit less in these coming up rounds. And here we go.
OSW going for DPC, no, not quite.
Both players already starting off strong here. Both 4.5 DPS pressuring super hard. Akma with that surge advantage. Still keeping it going. Finally breaks it. OSW Nelson at the top here. Oh, immediately has that team miss drop. Even with that, I'm not sure if they would be able to live it, but it looks like Akma with a very fast win here. Both players already going out the gates as fast as possible.
OSW misdropping the TKI there is a little unfortunate, but they gain control of their board again pretty quickly.
Yeah, with OSW, they could fix basically any misdrop in a moment's notice. Akma with a nice spike there. OSW forced to break out of their own surge to survive it. Now just dealing with some 0-9 well here. Does make it back to the well though.
A little bit of LSD there from OSW as Akma's just building up this back-to-back, breaks it up at the top of the board. Not too much of a follow-up. OSW breaks in return here. Both players are on the down stack.
We're really high up on this board, trying to get through this cheese. OSW just as well on the other side, trying to downstack. Both of them just making their way down. Akma now sitting at the bottom of the board, doesn't have a chance to build surge, but right as I say that, OSW sends a huge spike, setting them right back up.
Ooh, Akma, not sure if those were misdrops that caused that eye spin, but it works out for them as they push OSW up to the top of the board.
OSW getting a little greedy there, could not get to that eyepiece in time to take. And Akma taking the first 2 points nicely here. Oh, but OSW, nice counter pressure there to get their first win in the books here. Both players just going speedy, no timing whatsoever.
Yeah, I had to watch it back on the stream to see what happened. Akma just didn't have the pieces, and Akma also misdropped their opener. They find the well, but they block it off again, and ooh, that J misdrop.
They fix it immediately into a J misdrop on top of it, and OSW tying it right back up. With some nice pressure here, forced to break back-to-back as they misdrop that O piece. Looks like Akma doesn't have much of a surge themselves to build up at this point, and now sitting too high up on the board, could not get back to their clean in time. OSW taking the lead for the first time this set. Both of them just getting that back-to-back build. Starting to get that surge up to the double digits here. OSW,
Yeah, a lot of canceling going on here.
Yeah, looks like... I mean, yeah, OSW dealing with a bit of cheese because of that canceling. Might be forced to break back-to-back here shortly, or might just go for as many donations as possible. Does finally break it. Akma, in return, has to break their own. Looks like we're pretty much even. Not too much pressure, just because they canceled most of it. But with the misdrops at the top there, could not fix it in time, and OSW taking that round, even though Akma had that surge advantage and was playing well, just one misdrop can be enough to kill you.
The TST tower that gets gifted into the C-spin is insane.
And it does nothing, as usual.
Yeah, as you'd expect.
But I say nothing. OSW sitting at the top here right now at a surge disadvantage as well. Forced to make their way down, cannot build their back-to-back as they're being pressured. Akma might be breaking here, does finally break it. OSW just barely surviving, sends a mini counter spike there. Not enough to kill, but enough to survive here, make their way down, and Akma sitting at the top, trying to get that. TP just barely gets it off. Oh my gosh.
Okay, OSW has the pieces to survive. Yeah, Akma has the misdrops over the well here.
Just back and forth, barely surviving both of them. Looks like they're both back into even pretty much. OSW does have that surge advantage, but is slightly higher up, forced to break it immediately. And we're pretty much back to even.
Yeah, OSW took a little bit of time to fix some misdrops here, and that gave Akma time to build back-to-back. And we do see that -9 appearing on OSW's board and keeps counting up as Akma's just spamming out back-to-back at the bottom of the board here.
Yeah, OSW does finally make it back down to clean, able to start building up some as well, but obviously with that deficit of 16, 17, it's going to be hard to keep up, but OSW is still trying to pressure as much as possible, not breaking just yet, finally does break, just able to take that Akma pressure and make it down alive. Nicely done by them.
These down stacks are insane, the way that they're canceling each other out right now.
Yeah, it's like, it's so much pressure, but it doesn't feel like that much because they all just, like, send back and forth here. And as I say, it's not that much. Akma gets a nice spike there, enough clean to finally take another round there. They're definitely both putting up a good fight going back and forth at this point. Oh, OSW had that LSD, but immediately misdropped it, forced to break out of that back-to-back chain. Akma, on the other hand, does have theirs still going very clean well right now. I thought they were about to go for a TST tower, opts for a janky TST and forced to break out of that surge. Akma still keeping that back-to-back, finally forced to break out of it. OSW has a big chain of their own, sends a big one back. Akma just barely managed to tank it all. And now OSW is the one being pressured up.
OSW sends that 20 spike there, but Akma is able to send the 18 in return. OSW up at the top here, finding the T-spins to get down through this as Akma's just building up that back-to-back. Sends it and is now on the receiving foot of things as OSW sends over that surge, that mini spike, and that is enough to kill with the follow-up.
Yeah, that was, I mean, Akma was playing amazing there, but again, OSW just has another gear they can just pull out sometimes. And maintaining that lead.
OSW timing a mini spike there works out well as they do take the fast point.
Yeah, looks like Akma with some misdrops at the top there, not ready to counter that pressure. And now OSW is growing this lead at this point. Akma needs to get some wins back if they want to keep it close.
Ooh, a misdrop there from Akma. They do have the opportunity to fix this pretty well. They do so very quickly. But OSW has taken the time to build up some back-to-back of their own.
Yeah, has that 7 back-to-back, 9 back-to-back at this point. Does get a mini spike there. Akma not getting sent too high up, but dealing with a lot of cheese at this point. Forced to try and downstack through this while OSW gets to build more back-to-back to counter once again.
OSW has a hole in the board. Going to get around it without having to break back-to-back, but Akma has this 15 back-to-back built up. OSW breaks and sees the -18 at the top of the board. Akma breaks with the E27 spike, and OSW's not looking too good here, does not find a way out, and Akma's staying in this right now.
Yeah, I don't believe there was a downstack out of there, unfortunately for OSW. Akma does manage to get another point, bringing it back slightly closer to tied up. But OSW now starting this round with their LST, as I say, that has that misdrop. Okay, but managed to clean it up, trying to get that dono, pulling it off here.
Oh my gosh, the fix.
I mean, crazy fix, but they're really high up on their board right now. Akma has that surge ready. Looks like they do not go for it, even though OSW was at the top of their board. Might be trying to build up even more to certify the kill.
And Akma's all-spins here are so fun to watch. And, oh yeah, OSW's nothing they can do. Oh.
No, I think if they were to do anything, they would have to do it immediately without hesitation for even a chance of survival. But with that, Akma only 1 point from tying it back up. Still keeping it close.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
OSW
just-
breaks, does not have the follow-up, and it's tied.
Yeah, Akma had some misshops on their own end, but it didn't seem to matter, and we're back to even here. Akma still putting up a good fight. Definitely not over. It's still anyone's game. And we can see now Akma ready with this pressure, going for that LST, but OSW on the other side going for the 6-3. We'll see who can take advantage of it more.
So much canceling going on here. As you see very little garbage coming in on these players' boards.
Yeah, and it's still relentless pressure. Who's gonna break back-to-back first is the question. Akma not able to get the clear. OSW searching perfectly there. Oh, you'd be devastated.
It's brutal when you can't get that clear up there.
Yeah, they have a certain advantage, I believe, but it doesn't matter if you can't actually clear the search.
And that's why timing can be king in these sets, in these games. You never know what kind of timing is just going to catch your opponent off guard.
Exactly. And speaking of timing, that might have been timed just well enough, but OSW makes it down, and Akma with some misdrops as well couldn't get out of it in time. Definitely unfortunate misdrops for back-to-back rounds for Akma. Nice all spins going here. OSW is now being spiked up here. Did not have a surge to counter, but gets a huge down stack spike. Doesn't even need any back-to-back to cancel it, and OSW now getting a 3-point lead here. Even though Akma was bringing it back, OSW does not want it to be close. Sitting at the top, forced to break their surge, but Akma on the other side, forced to break it as well as they're sent back up. Both of them just barely surviving at the top here, making their way back down, trying to build up some more surge once again. Akma misdrops there, forced to break out of their surge, does give OSW the chance to build up a big advantage here.
And OSW getting that back-to-back up to 20 now. Ooh, a misdrop on OSW side forces them to slow down a little bit, but they continue the back-to-back. They send with the follow-up a little delayed there, and because of that delay, Akma is able to survive and continue on stacking here.
Both of them have that 5 back-to-back surge. Finally forced to break it. Akma just not a clean enough board here, and OSW at match point, even though they were just tied, OSW takes 4 quick ones here, and now just needs one more to move on.
Ooh, OSW with a misdrop there is going to slow them down a little bit. They do not have what they need to get out of it, and
yeah, we're
Akma
able to
gets
break
the
the
point.
surge, but still not enough to survive. Akma keeping it in just barely. We'll see if we can get the double comeback here to a deuce, but it's still going to be tough for Akma. And with that misdrop to start as well, puts them in a really bad position already.
really nice all spins here from Akma to get this back-to-back 8, but they misdrop, leave a hole in their stack. They have to break. OSW appears to have a misdrop as well.
And it's really cheesed up right now, and has that misdrop with that L piece. Gives Akma breathing room. Just needs 2 more to tie it up once again.
OSW with a fast spike from that opener there. Both players just spiking the other right now, hoping to find timing somewhere.
Just so much pressure here right now. Akma trying to build up their back-to-back, has a really clean well, gets that 30 spike. OSW forced up here, but looks like they have some clean on their other side, starting to build it up, gonna get a huge spike here. Akma might not be able to survive it, just barely breathing.
Oh my goodness.
Just barely clutched it out. OSW not able to get that kill. This is like a repeat of this last set that we went to deuce. Just barely surviving on Akma's end. OSW not able to get this kill. Now dealing with some misshots on their own as Akma's continuing this pressure.
players have this back-to-back here. They both break.
Akma does get the C-spin, gets a little bit of pressure there, but OSW canceling all of it, sitting at the top. Right as I say that, gets sent immediately high up. Akma forced to break Surge as OSW breaks her own and gets a huge spike there, sending OSW up. OSW able to counter it right away. Akma just barely getting that I spin. This is relentless.
Ooh, the misdrop.
The misdrop, that's so bad.
Defining back-to-back with that misdrop
Oh my
is ridiculous to see there.
And Akma takes it! After a minute 45, 240 APM, Akma just one more to bring in Deuce. Are we gonna see the same thing happen again, folks? Akma forced to break that back-to-back, does have that misdrop, has a bunch of misdrops right there, does give OSW a chance to pressure, but OSW doesn't have the cleanest board to send, and misdrops their own T-spin as well, giving Akma the chance to get out of that difficult position they were to start. I think both of these players at this point hitting with the nerves. Neither of them wants to drop this. With the surge advantage, sending OSW up. They do barely manage to survive here.
OSW down stacking through this, setting up a C-spin here, almost dying because of it.
I thought OSW was dead for sure. They do have Aura surge suspension, and Akma breaks it to tiebreaker. Again, this is a 4-point comeback. 2 deuces in a row that happened like this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, you want to see deuces? We have a lot of them. You want to see misdrops? We have a lot of them because Akma did misdrop that opener here as OSW misdrops that eyepiece.
Oh, it's just back and forth misdrops. Both of these players must be sweating, so nervous with these misdrops, you can tell. Akma going for the Imperial Cross, not something you see very often. Looks like it might work out for them as OSW sitting at the top but managing to barely find the down stack.
OSW setting up this Kaidan, and Akma don't even know what you're doing with that L piece over there. Good luck with that, and it does kill them.
And again, this is what I'm saying, folks. Even if you can bring it to deuce, your opponent can still take the lead back again. OSW finally getting their first win in, I believe, 5 rounds now. Akma again in the backseat.
Yeah, Akma misdropped that stick spin in the beginning. Definitely these rounds catching up to them here, as OSW is just 5-4 up stacking again.
Oh, and looks like Akma not able to find the down stack. Looks like both times now, Turtle versus Shark and OSW versus Akma, the person with the lead does manage to keep it. But man, that was a great showing by Akma. Big props for them to keeping it close and having that near comeback.
Both players averaging above 4 PPS in that set. That is what we meant about the speed with these two players. Such an exciting matchup to see.
Yeah, many people pointed it out, but like for multiple rounds, Akma was averaging like 4.5 PPS for like 2 minutes. It was ridiculous, but unfortunately, when you play OSW, it is sometimes just not enough.
Yeah, and you can see how up and down this was with the APM graph here, switching every single round in the middle there. Insane to see.
Yeah, and at the end there, even though Akma was bringing it back, OSW was maintaining basically the same APM for those like 4 rounds where Akma was trying to tie it back up. Still not enough. And with that, OSW, I believe, also moves to winners quarters. And I believe next up we're going to be seeing Vince versus Shark, which is definitely going to be a fun one. These two very strong players. This is not a matchup you would be expecting in losers quarters. So it's going to be make or break for one of them. We'll see who's able to put on the pressure more. What are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to win this matchup?
This is tough. I mean, Vince and his alien stacking, as we see on this card right here, is definitely a wild card for them. They can always pull that out, but Shark, a wild card of their own, so I'm not quite sure here.
Yeah, I
mean,
did not realize that Shark was a second seed. This is
yeah,
seed
having
one
the one
versus
versus
two
two.
in losers quarters is a little bit ridiculous, but I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these like top players currently sitting in the bracket match up very evenly. So like this, it's surprising, but it's not unexpected. And with that, they're ready to go in this warm up. Ooh, Vince starting with an interesting PC opener. I don't know if I've seen that solved before.
And Shark just opening with a misdrop on the TD opener.
Yeah, that's happened sometimes. Looks like they make it out of it, but in the meantime, Vince starting to build his back-to-back. Shark trying to get the C-spin, not able to get the wall to kick off of, and Vince with that fast opener win. But with that, I think we're ready to go here, folks.
Yeah, once our players are ready, we'll get this started.
Here we go. Seed 1 versus 2. It's crazy that one of these is going to be out in, like, I believe 6th place. But that's how it goes sometimes with these types of tournaments. Anything can happen.
So Vince showing us straight out the gate here why they have alien stacking on the card, and then misdropping over the well like that is just
You
wild.
can say that, but Shark on the other side had, like, I don't even know what was going on with their board. And Vince was not able to handle it for some reason. That was a little strange, I will admit.
Shark keeping that combo going.
Yeah, it's a nice mini combo. Obviously, it doesn't do as much in Tetrio, but it does cheese up your opponent. But obviously, Vince, I believe they're still the world record holder for cheese race, so they're unfazed by it whatsoever. But might not be unfazed with this back-to-back spike by Shark. They still do manage to make it out just fine, though.
Vince is probably one of the very few players that would toss an I-piece into a TST setup and turn it into an I-spin double. Because he did just do that. It did throw me off, like a lot.
Well, it gets you an all-spin. Sometimes that's better than a TST.
Yeah, not a lot of players think like that.
Well, that's Vince for you. I mean, clearly it's working. If you can get 21 surge with those type of things, Shark, just nothing. Nothing they can do there. It would have been, like, better if they had some clean on their board, but they just had a little bit cheese right above that, so they couldn't do anything to downstack out of it. And Vince starting off with a very clean well right there to work with, already getting that all-spin going. Shark forced out of it. Now at a 10 deficit here as Vince gets that nice spike, but Shark with an amazing downstack. That was perfection to just survive there.
And Shark thinking about these all spins here, as Vince is just building up this 6-3 stack and doing some all spins of his own.
I'm not sure what I saw there. It looked like a very weird stack, but obviously Vince managed to just clean it up like it's nothing.
I feel like a lot of high-level Tetris is looking at the board and not knowing what their next move is going to be, but Vince just is another level of that.
Yeah, I think especially with all spins, it makes it a lot harder to figure out what your opponent's going to do. And looks like whatever Vince is doing, it's working for them. Does manage to get that win. Nicely played. Yeah, this all-spin opener by Vince, it's not something I've seen before. It's working interesting. Not enough.
I'm pretty sure there was a miss drop in the middle.
Yeah, no, there was a miss drop at some point there, but the opener definitely had some S-spins and Z-spins to get some TSDs.
It's funny because it starts off like a PCO and then does anything but.
Well, we know that PCO unfortunately does not have the power it once did.
But you know what does? Oh, I was really hoping that would kill it. Didn't. Okay, so now Vince is on the down stack here.
Yeah, sometimes the narrative isn't in your favor in that regard. But it looks like they might still die anyway here with that team misdrop on the top there. Does try and find the down stack. More misdrops there. Even more misdrops there. Oh, that's devastating. They had the out there. Could not get it done with all those misdrops though. Nice floating there by Shark. Another floating there, trying to keep that all spin. Couldn't keep it going for very long here. Forced to break it out of it. As Vince is doing their own thing, I don't even know. They're sitting at the top though. Even with that surge, they might be topped out. Just barely getting to that eye well in time.
Oh no! Shark had survival with that S-piece there, but did not kick it over.
I think Vince had a J-spin there ready instead of a TSD, which was interesting setup choice. You can see Shark here, now with a very clean will, has the surge ready, didn't even need to use it, takes back this lead. They are both making sure the set is close, for sure. Getting spiked up to the top here. Not dying just yet though. Shark does have the advantage here with this back-to-back now at 12 here. Vince trying to find their way down, trying to build their own back-to-back. Shark having that misdrop though, forced to finally break out of it. It still might not be enough for Vince, just barely surviving. Gets the multiplier to cancel a little bit more there. They could have taken the Tetris first, but decide not to go for it right away, and it works out better for them. Now they have the surge advantage. Oh, but forced to break out of it. Yeah, can't keep it going. Shark going for some crazy all spins at the top there, still sitting very high up, trying to make their way down as Vince is relentless with his pressure. But now Vince sitting at the top here, trying to get down themselves, waste that T-piece for the overhang, just barely manages to glitch it out. Shark trying to pressure but not able to do enough to kill.
Yeah, it's wild how many of these times it's just a couple seconds off from death. Not even a second, just the slightest thing keeping these players alive here.
Yeah, it's
over
like
and over again.
It's like half a second at most that they have time to survive. Shark, you can see in this position right now, just barely again making their way through it. Vince does have the surge advantage, has these mishaps to follow it, and cannot get the clear to cancel. And Shark finally taking that round.
Allspin's going crazy on Vince's side there as he does break. Shark just keeping this clean 6-3 stack.
Yeah, just have that surge right now. Still keeping going. Almost broke it with that eyepiece misdrop. Does manage to find it back over here. Finally does break it. Vince sent right to the top there. But managed to find some crazy down stack with the 43 spike. That was insane.
And Shark finds the down stack of their own to keep this going. And Vince has quite the setup over there, fixed with some all spins, but not able to keep back-to-back.
Yeah, Shark on the other side does have some back-to-back on their own going. Still keeping it going. Finally breaks it with 13, I believe, there. But Vince immediately canceling it with their own. Vince a little too high up there. What's very interesting to to me at least, is compared to like the last set with OSW versus Akma, this is a lot more all-spin focused. So you can see a lot more cheese they're dealing with, so it's not as much back-to-back and clean pressure. So it's very interesting to see the different play styles here. And I mean, it's working for Shark right now with this advantage. Vince might be forced to try and pressure here instead of focusing as much on all spin if they want to try and get some more wins here.
Vince with the 21 spike to push Shark up to the top of the board. They do get down for now, but that's a lot of cheese to work through as Vince is getting that back-to-back. This is not looking good for Shark. They've got to get down. They've got to get down now. That's what they're doing. They have access to this well, even though there's the -8 on the top of the board from Vince, and Vince is setting up a J-spin triple, because what else would you do with your time? And then Shark misdrops the eye, and that ends the round.
I was at a loss for words there for like 5 seconds. If people were looking at Vince's back-to-back chain, that was an absurd way to keep the surge. They like had a prophecy for like an all-spin into like an I-spin or like a Tetris or something, and then kept the back-to-back. It was ridiculous, and that's Vince for you. Does manage to get that next win in, and again with a massive surge there. Massive 32 spike, finally bringing it back, even though I feel like Shark was getting a lot of long round wins there. Vince just getting 2 quick ones here.
Ooh, Vince missing that eye spin there is going to put him at a disadvantage, and that is going to let Shark take that point.
Yeah, they had that ice spin ready, could not get going, has the miss drop, and Shark getting another win, keeping a slight lead here, but I mean, both of these players are playing it very close. They are both very all-spin focused against each
Vince
other.
with that Almas drop.
Puts them high up, gives Shark the advantage, but might not be enough surge to kill, and it is not. Vince does get sent a lot of cheese in the meantime, but obviously they can just get through it like it's nothing. But that T-mish drop is a little bit too high up, cannot clear it as Shark sends a perfect attack. Gets another kill, only needs 3 more to win this set. Oh, but Shark starting this opener with a mish drop here. Does give Vince a little bit of a chance to start building this back-to-back.
Shark with a 26 spike, 31 spike here, that pushes Vince up to the top, but Vince isn't going to break back-to-back. That's a lot of cheese on the board. Vince breaks and starts to work down through this cheese here. Some all spins along the way.
They get through it without too much difficulty here. Shark just not pressuring quite enough to get the kill. But maybe you don't need to pressure with a Vince mish dropping like that. Has a floating O-piece right now. Trying to find some down stack, but a little too hesitant. And now Shark 2 away from taking it. Vince just struggling at this point. Cannot get these kills. You can see Vince now trying to focus more on these T-spin back-to-back rather than the all-spins. Still keeping that back-to-back. Might be forced to break it, but does manage to make it to the clean without doing so. Finally gets it. Shark getting sent too high up. Cannot counter, cannot get to the clean in time. And Vince finally taking another one.
Both players building up this back-to-back. Shark with this 6-3 stack as Vince is going for more of those all spins.
Compromising their board a good bit here. Trying to fix it in the meantime. Does get set up. Oh, misdrops that L piece. Just barely managed to clean it up though. And gets a nice counter spike there. Shark is not ready.
Yeah, how can you be ready for that though?
I mean,
It is
sometimes
wild
you
what
just
Vince
can't
does
be.
with his misdrops. It is insane.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta hope for an eyepiece. Unfortunately, Shark did not have it, and Vince was ready with his spike. See, Vince, ooh, they nearly had the PC there. Did not manage
Shark
to get
drops.
him. Ooh, yes, Shark a little too high up. Vince does have that surge advantage, sending Shark up to the top. And with that, Vince one away from tying it back up. Even though we were about to see Shark at match point, looks like Vince doing a nice job fighting back.
It looks like Shark may have misheld there. That led them to break back-to-back, and now they're sitting with the minus 10 on their board. Vince breaks that.
It looks like, yeah, Shark is completely fine at this point. Not too much to worry about. Does have a little bit of cheese. Is covering their well. Forced to try and downstack through it. In the meantime, Vince has started to build their own back-to-back surge here. Already up to 9. Getting to the double digits here. Shark does have a mini surge of their own, but not enough to really do much. Does force Vince up. They are forced to finally break it. And then the misdrops at the top now puts Shark at match point.
Yeah, can Vince bring this back here, or does Shark manage to close this out? Are we going to see another 10-10 deuce situation? Third in a row would be insane here, but let's see what these players have in store.
Shark does get the PC to start. I don't know if I've seen them go for one before, but it does not seem to have impacted Vince much at all here. And that's an eye spin I have not seen before.
Yeah.
That's just Vince for you.
Okay,
Vince.
okay.
Vince. We get it, Vince. We get it. You want to flex here, even though you're at match point.
This is not looking good for Vince right now. Vince finds a way out. Shark finds that back-to-back yet again. Vince hesitating here, not looking good.
Might just be a little too much hesitation. Yeah, I don't know if they would have been able to downstack if they held, but yeah, with that, Vince unfortunately not able to bring it back. We could not get a deuce there. Vince putting up a good fight, but that's the first seed knocked out in 6th place. That's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, wild outcome for our 1 versus 2 seed match down in losers quarterfinals. And we can see that Vince had quite the APM fluctuation there. It is wild to see that up and down between those rounds.
Yeah, it was very back and forth at some points in time. Both of them, again, not pressuring too much. It was definitely a lot more all-spin oriented, trying to get surge kills rather than pressuring like we saw with OSW and Akma. But regardless, great performance by both of them. Unfortunately, Vince is knocked out here. And we'll see Shark moving on to, I believe, losers semis, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, should be correct. Yeah, and I believe we are going to be going to a break here after we are done covering this match. Yeah, don't know if we have anything we'd like to shout out or promote during this time.
Again, donations, if anyone wants to give some money to these players, obviously they are doing an amazing job with their performance tonight, and if you want to, give them some money for how well they played so far.
There are incentives along with the prize pool donation, so make sure to check those out as well. Some very fun stuff in there.
Yeah, but I think with that, that's done with us for tonight. So thanks for watching these. Obviously, stay tuned for some new commentators coming up and some more very exciting matches. Yep, we're good.
We're doing it live? We're not scripting this. We're live. Okay. Hello everyone. Okay. So for a second, I don't know why. I forgot Cheese was also in the VC. I thought you just left us like a I'm like, why would you leave me here?
Oh, I can still do that.
No, please don't do this.
Okay, professionalism. Okay, commentating. Yeah, Apple Orchard Cock.
Okay, first of all, like I feel like I'm able to at least logistically be professional, but like while I've been casting, I've been talking about like some craziest stuff with co-casters in the past for this. We're just here to have a good time, watch some high-level Tetrio, and hopefully give a quality breakdown.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We got some high-level gameplay in the server right now. So we're gonna want to see the best out of these Season 2 players in our third iteration of Apple Orchard Cup.
Yeah, and I think for our next match as well, we've got two players. I think they might be making one of their highest debuts of a major tournament that we've seen from both of them, between Kuroto and OSW. Both these players, I feel like we've seen in a couple of top 10s usually, but not too far beyond that. And one of these places, I think, already guaranteed a top 4 placing, which I believe would be a PB for either. So very excited to see both of them in a top 6 position, fighting for this top 4 spot.
How familiar are you with their playstyles, Devo?
OSW is still playing like Season 1. They're working at a couple of all spins, but they play Season 1 well enough that it works. I know Kuroto initially had some dissatisfaction with the Season 2 rule set and wasn't doing too well, but they've since been able to put in a lot of time and effort to learning the format, and to be honest, has seen great success. I mean, both of these players already have qualified, so just as a testament to their abilities within the Season 2 rule set. But I expect we'll see a lot more all-spin utility out of Kuroto, aka Applejack in this case, and it's going to come down to whether or not OSW's proficiency with the familiarity and guideline is going to be enough.
I'd say OSW is more of the bigger number better player, as you can see right there. Kuroto's gotten very used to dealing with stuff like that.
That is true. OSW tends to play the speed when they're able. They do love to go fast.
The thing is, Kuroto can do that just as well, I would say. Kuroto was initially known as the 4 PPS player. Because once Westo made it to 5, they made it to 4, you know, but...
Although it is funny looking at a lot of their like recent matches, they've tended to opt to play slower, I think, to get as much utility out of that all spin as they possibly can. So I guess we'll have to see if they continue to favor a slower playstyle or if they try and speed up to match OSW.
Definitely looking forward to some adaptations as we go into our first game of our set.
Oh, wait, I know for a fact Kuroto wanted something there, but OSW was not willing to send anything.
OSW is on the back foot already, you know, as Kuroto's already at 15 back-to-back breaks it. And oh no, this is a bad position for OSW.
And you can see as well, like, even though Kuroto wasn't able to net the KO from the Surge Spike itself, it put OSW so high up the board that there was really not a lot of downstack utility there. And just one more finishing blow, and that's going to be the first round.
It's been really impressive to see Kuroto's development from just being really, really fast to being very fast and controlled as well. Like, that's very difficult to do.
Well, I think OSW knows almost better than anyone else that the speed is very hard to control. And so making those kinds of improvements is very impressive.
Making that kind of I'm glad. Well, he's going to recover from it, and now he looks pretty fine. That's a 29 that does absolutely nothing to Kuroto. We're going to slowly make her way down.
Yeah, I'm able to retaliate with the 27. Had to use a couple of mini surges in the process, but obviously if you're in the danger of topping out, the defensive surge is not the worst sacrifice you could make.
To push all the way up with some clean garbage to work with, but this is not the best board that you want in this position. OSW has a perfectly clean board. Kuroto might be under a lot of pressure.
Oh, misdrop there from OSW. That's going to force a premature surge, but
Never mind. Very
I think the
awkward.
lack of-
bounce there.
yeah, just not a lot of good skim options to prevent that garbage from coming in, and that surprisingly the surge break, which I think was kind of more like OSW didn't really intend for that to be the case, it just was perfectly timed.
I was keeper OSW yet again. Kuroto fighting back with the 6-3. We expect to see that from the other side. It's like they switched force for a second.
Oh, right now OSW
under back hook.
surge advantage is kind of brought back to neutral as Kuroto able to find some solid down stack.
A little awkward from OSW there. Don't have to break the surge. But,
but-
again, accidentally perfectly timed.
I'm not sure how much OSW was intentionally timing these surge breaks, but they seem to be at like almost the perfect time. Well, I guess we are only 2 games in, so perhaps there's there's method to the method. There's misdrops to this madness. All right.
That's
Kuroto
what I
takes
was
the
talking
second.
about control, man. This is the freaking TWC Platinum. You can't be playing like that.
Well, I mean, OSW has made it this far, and even if it has this many misdrops, then it just goes to show that OSW's consistency is definitely its own beast. Oh, okay, and honestly, all right, that one wasn't intent. You could tell that one was intentionally timed, but that was very, very good. So 3 very well-timed surges for 3 wins there in OSW.
There's the yin and yang of OSW's playstyle right there. You get the freaking 10-second self-destruction rounds, and then you get the 4.5 PPS, 300 APM rounds.
And it's just like they say, 70% of the time it works all the time.
It might not work this time. Oh no! Now that L piece takes the L right there from OSW.
Bro opened the door, took a step through, and then shut it on themselves.
Dude, he looked perfectly fine, and then he was just gone. Okay, LST
Oh, and Kuroto patiently waiting for that surge, trying to get a little bit of cheese on OSW's board. Not going to be as effective as they would have wished, but to be fair, Kuroto's board also very well.
Oh, OSW misdrops. We're gonna be saying that a lot.
Oh, but OSW has managed to clean things up very quickly. Setting up for the T-spin triple. We do see an ice spin in the process. Has very little garbage left. Might just continue stacking for T-spins and Tetris's on top. And
It's gonna work out as Kuroto gets a little too fancy there to the right.
I also
Like,
think
the
this first
Ospreys are
game
nice,
OSW didn't really use Surge to get win condition in that match.
You can't really compromise your board completely to build Osprey like that. You have to keep it clean, you have to keep it flat. Kuroto did neither.
Cool.
And got punished for it.
Yeah, but OSW was trying to be a little creative with back-to-back.
Oh, he missed
He
180.
compromised it. We
44,
got
a
an
very
early-
close match so far.
And early T to start, we've got SDPC versus, I think, MS2. And already, I think we'll get 2 all clears there from OSW.
That's something else. Not sure which one it is. There's too many of them.
Look at how Kuroto as well, using that deep prop as the overhang for the T-spin double. Not always every day we get to see setups like those, but very, very useful.
Love how she's slowing it down to get through the rough position. Takes her time and finds something very clean to work through it. Now pretty much all the way down as OSW gets a little stuck inside his own self-made cheese.
Oh, that's...
my, it's so clean.
Well, Kuroto's just... Yeah, she's just getting out-pressured by a lot of that utility just immediately cashed out on OSW's board, and I feel like this has been relatively close. Like, I don't think we've seen the lead surpass 2 already in this entire set.
It's very nice to see a clash of playstyles like this. OSW is playing very differently from
OSW
ARM.
might have broke
Yeah, that
a little prematurely.
changing up their playstyle, camera zone and stuff like that. accidental misdrop from an intentional timing attempt.
Oh,
Kinda.
yeah, a little bit of awkward stack there in columns 6 and 7. OSW able to clean it up though. But we have very nice surge timing there from Grotso. However, it's not going to be enough to find the top out. The follow-up trying desperately to push OSW into disadvantage, but it's not going to work.
You have to pair your surge with something else. Just the surge break isn't going to do any damage at this level.
And OSW just nothing but clean down in the bottom of this board. Grotso, he's able to also get a really nice deep and triple, but the big options are getting really scary on the side.
That might be the biggest lead we've seen so far.
6-4. I'm at 10 games in the first 2-11, and we're finally more than one game apart.
LST again from OSW. I was expecting a little more 6-3 from him, but this is nice to see. Grotso already forced to break surge. Oh my, takes a massive spike to the face.
Honestly, really solid down stack work.
Future right now. OSW is looking to put on some pressure. Oh, forced to break surge. That's not good.
Yeah, was so close to sending a little bit of cheese, but that garbage worked almost perfectly for Kurotsu's board.
Oh, that's a jinx. That's a jinx.
It doesn't look great anymore. Friends, I may be wrong once again. Well,
She's out.
well,
We're good.
Okay, maybe the Castus curse is healing.
Oh, OSW, come on. You can fix that, surely. OST from Kurotsu is going to put some. Wow!
Oh
What? Why?
Donating to
Okay.
stay on top of the dance part. But the damage control, I'd say, from OSW seems, well, got a little bit of an omen tap.
Oh my. Oh, this kid is a little confused up there. He'll get down.
No, well, that looks like
Wait.
Oh, but yeah, Kurotsu doesn't have a lot right now to send immediately. And so OSW is just kind of able to get out of that scot-free.
That was the wrong time to go for Austin singles. You have to pressure. You have to send those T-stings there.
All right, and so we're a minute 45. We're approaching the 2-minute mark. And, well, I would say neither player is really budging that much, but we do have the immediate surge retaliation between the two of them.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been looking at Kurotsu this entire time. I'm just watching OSW play single player.
Well, I did mention before, like, OSW tends to prefer the, Season 1 style of play that's worked for them in the past, and again, if it ain't broke, I guess don't fix it. Like, if the strat seems to be working...
He is putting up 192 APM despite everything we've been saying about him.
Keep in mind as well, Kurotsu is a good, 3 or 4 bags behind in pieces, but has been keeping up the same amount of damage. At this point, I think we might need to see a... I feel like a quad multiplier is going to be needed in order to fish for a top out, because both of them are playing pretty conservatively and not kind of trying to avoid that top out scenario.
10 surge from OSW, again not paired with anything else, it's not going to do much. Kurotsu gets out. Free to build her own spike now, that's a pretty clean board to work with. Oh, parity issues. Got them fixed. Waste another chi. Not good.
OSW setting up the STSD. Oh, but OSW covers up the well. Needs to be careful. Down stack. Manages to have the eyepieces in time.
They just cannot find the opportunities to pair the surge attack with anything else. They're just breaking surge when they have to. It's very conservative.
3.5 minutes. I think we're going to need to see one player crumble under the pressure.
If it's going to come down to net drops, it might be OSW, but Kurotsu gets herself stuck.
OSW keeps pulling that rope, 7-4. Trying to get it over the line, needs 4 more wins. And they would book what I believe is their first top 4 performance of a TWC event this season.
nearly 4 minutes of 200 APM. That's what this is going to come down to. The caliber of play is outstanding.
Honestly, I'm surprised we have multiple players at this point that can sustain that level of performance and just. Yeah, we're seeing that just in some of the earlier matches of our top 8 as well. Which is phenomenal.
Kids, bro. These kids are different. LST from OSW versus LST from so as well. Still need transfer out.
OSW trying to keep it going with the STSD. Converts over to the center well.
Wait, misstep from OSW. Will give Kuroso some time to recover. Oh my.
Just barely the extra credit there on the down stack. Those extra 2 and 3 lines was just enough to get the top out there. OSW keeps these wins coming, 9-4.
How do you misdrop like that and still get 230 APM? That's not fair.
Well, and we can see, I think Kuroso's been trying to take one out of OSW's book and try to play a little bit faster, make sure that OSW can't take as much advantage of that speed difference. But
oh my. Absolutely
right,
crushed. 4.6 PPS.
OSW has found a rhythm. We've seen, honestly, we haven't seen like no misdrops from OSW, but we've definitely seen a dramatic decrease in the OSW misdrop set, and it definitely
running
seems
away
to be
with
paying.
it.
Okay, well, never mind.
I mean, just look at the score though. Already at match point. And like Kuroso isn't even playing poorly. I think Kuroso's doing very well.
This is still a very strong performance from Kuroso, but we are seeing the SNZ overhang on the right side of OSW. Kuroso not able to get to the clean garbage, but we are making a masterpiece on OSW's board. Unfortunately, they made the frame of the artwork before the actual clears in the middle, and that's going to be a game to Kuroso, pulling back some momentum.
That's a 2 million auction piece right there.
That's a that's a 2 million misdrops right there.
Oh yeah, the dollar amount matches the misdrops. OSW struggling a little here though, as Kuroso's going to put the early pressure on. Already 9 surge behind, as Kuroso manages. Oh, not with that. Now he's going to survive, and we should be back into a neutral position.
And again, Kuroso was pushed to like the uncomfortable spot, kind of like didn't want to hold on to surge that much and avoid, kind of risk losing it. But at the same time, that kind of performance is not going to result in a KO.
That has to be 4 PPS average. That's not real.
Well, let's take a gander.
No. What do you mean it's 3.99?
3.99 average from OSW, just barely. And
I got
still as
so
well.
close.
And Kuroso as well with solid stats of her own, but the 11-5, both players, this is their first, I think both between gold and major events, making it into a top 5 scenario, and OSW earning their fourth or higher from this tournament, as we are now into our top 4, and I believe we'll be wrapping around to our winners finals, if I'm not mistaken.
What an incredible performance from OSW though. Like, this is the OSW that we were promised. This
is not the season 2 OSW, but I don't know if we're gonna get to see that at all, because season 1 OSW seems to be working just fine.
Oh, definitely. Just look at the numbers. Like, I don't even need to analyze that. Those are very big numbers. And when you're trying to play a very controlled playstyle like Kuroso's, you can't just like account for random 300 APM rounds. Like, you have to know your opponent's limits and whether you can deal with them. In this case, OSW dropping 200 average across 4 minutes, it's very difficult to control that.
And we'll have to see if any of our players left tonight can do so. I mean, we've already seen OSW in the losers bracket, so we know it has been done before. And 2 of the players looking to potentially take our tournaments in winners finals. We've got Gohan and Turtle. I don't know if we've seen Turtle in previous AOCs, but obviously both of these players are already top 8s within the TWC qualifying point, so I think these players' resumes don't really need that much of an introduction at this point.
What needs introduction is that I think this is a very similar playstyle to the previous game. But here we have
Between the two?
Gohan playing the role of the very fast strider, spammy playstyle, and then we have Turtle who's going to try and control the pace of the game.
Oh, what is okay? This is definitely warming up right now from Gohan, but they're trying to play like one of the bots right now, just like the 2 pieces per second. And I think Turtle is like kind of trying to entertain that bit as well. I think. Oh, speed up a little bit, maybe. No. Yes.
Gohan's gone. Right. I don't. Turtle. Okay then. Well, it's warm up. It's fine.
I mean, I guess if they prefer playing warm up at 2 pieces per second speed cap between both of them, I mean, like that they're allowed to do that, I guess. I just usually see, especially players that are used to going like 4+ pieces per second, they'll usually try to exercise playing as fast as possible and get the miss drops out early.
Plenty of you to mention the speed, because have you seen Turtle's PB recently?
Oh, is it even crazier now?
He's about to break the 14-second barrier.
Oh my goodness, that.
I think he's at 14.1 right now for 49 sprint. That's a top 5 score in the community.
That is insane.
It was like out of nowhere. Like this guy was basically 15 seconds for a while, and then just randomly over the past few days, he just dropped it down to 14.1. Yeah, it's 14.17 right now.
Yeah, within the past day.
He dropped it down from like 14.5 to 14.1 within one day. Like, I don't know how to explain how insane that is.
I will say they also have the 4th best 20 TSD time. So Turtle is not necessarily just going to be fast in the burst department for sprinting. However, whether or not that will stand to Gohan's incredible all-spin setups with center wells is going to be another question.
I just want to mention how Turtle is probably the least fitting name for this guy.
I remember watching, what was it? Thinking a Tall's match or whatever, and like this is just leagues above what I remember seeing. And to specify it was the Tall's Open, it was not like a long time ago Tall's. It was, you know, this was still very high level Turtle game.
All right, moving on into the game. Both players coming out of the gate full attack mode actually at 300 APM from Turtle.
Oh my, 180 over 160 from Turtle as well. That is peak efficiency, peak speed, and what a way to start off this set with First Blood.
Massive game right there. We're talking about OSW's numbers. In one singular round, Turtle has shattered that record.
Oh, and
again,
multiplier plus the follow-up! 500 plus versus score from Turtle, I think almost 2 games in a row. This is
not
coming out of the
screwing
gate
around.
swinging.
By watching, this guy's already making a freaking charcuterie board out of Gohan right now. He's slicing and dicing.
Garbage working very favorably. Gohan to cover up the well, manages to work back over to it.
This is one way to control the pace. Just leave your opponent with no room to breathe. Oh wait, Turtle.
Oh,
Oh my.
well, unfortunately, I think Gohan was the one that executed that flawlessly that round. Able to get on the board. We have early TNI. However,
We had the entire country of Switzerland on Turtle's board right there. Not clean.
oh, Turtle going for greeting for that STSD follow-up over the opener. Beautiful kicks and wonderful clean garbage to utilize. And that is just way too much. Gohan gets overwhelmed.
Season 2 was too defensive, they said. The garbage buff is too good, they said. Alright, let's just play 300 APM and commit absolutely meat grinder things. I don't know. It's working.
Urge multiplier go burr, they said.
Okay, Gohan's fighting back.
multiplier.
What?
Turtle able to get it. And that is all force. Turtle is popping off right now. Gohan has been
is
just
form?
like Gohan has really only been dropping games to like some of like the top players in this scene. We've seen like a couple of, from like Diao sets and, Westel. But Turtle right now is making an extremely strong case for this upset.
Not much of an upset because I'm pretty sure it's happened before, but still,
Well,
we definitely favor Gohan coming
yes,
into this
but-
match. Okay, that's the normal Gohan that we expected. The 4.77, that's the Gohan special. This kid's extremely fast and very used to playing at this speed.
And Gohan misdrops over the TD opener, manages to still get a lot of utility with these all spins.
Oh, that's so greedy from Turtle. He's going to barely live it, but I don't like this board position. Austin is way down. No, looks very clean.
I would say Turtle didn't like it either, but cleaned it up just as fast. And another 500 plus versus round from Turtle.
Someone definitely strapped a jetpack to this Turtle. This guy is going places.
Oh my god, the DT follow-up.
While Gohan just all-spinning, taking it easy.
They're both in an all-spin farm, but Turtle pops first. Oh, the multiplier's gonna escape Turtle.
I don't think that was
attack her face on both.
Dude.
Oh, Turtle greeting.
Oh, the
O gets stuck. Oh, nestled right in between I think the J and the I piece, and there is no way to get over to that left side of the stack.
This is not our previous matchup. This is what I expected from our previous matchup. This is two of the fastest players in the world going up against each other, knowing each other, and just using their playstyles against each other.
All right, no multiplier there for Turtle, but still a very strong down stack. Gohan able to still keep Surge for a little bit longer.
What is this greed? Turtle!
The
This
TST
isn't
set up
definitely,
on...
you aren't farming me.
And the TST setup there is going to get punished by Gohan's Surge Burst. And we are, surprisingly, again, the 3-game lead for Turtle is now cut to 1. But
What is it, round?
we've got misdrops going left, right, all over the place. Double quad there from Turtle, able to still keep things relatively clean. Finally,
Some
top
insane disrespect onto Gohan that I'm witnessing though. Turtle just doesn't care who he's playing against,
my
he's just
goodness.
going for it.
I've never seen players maintain that efficiency while having like misdrops like every other bag. But like somehow the damage is just there all the time. Oh,
That's the difference
and
between
Turtle is going
good
so
and bad
greedy for the spike.
Just so much disrespect. Like the way Turtle is playing, you wouldn't think he's going up against Gohan right now.
You think Turtle's doing that as like a conscious decision, or just like I think it's working?
It looks like it's working to me. You should keep doing it.
I mean, it seems to be doing a good job, so I feel like there's no incentive for Turtle to switch off.
He's still in the lead. It's a close game, but he's definitely in the lead, and he's been in the lead throughout this set.
Well, does pop Surge first, but has been doing such a good job of maintaining this pressure up that they're essentially unfazed when Gohan's able to return favor.
Oh, this is hard to off-spin. Oh, misdrops. Turtle wanted to off-spin that Z-piece. Going to get punished for the greed. Meanwhile, Gohan just keeping up his normal 4 PPS pace. Putting pressure on Turtle. And, oh, that simply cheese is a little rough. This might
That's
the
going to
end
be a
of
bit
Gohan.
difficult, especially on Surge disadvantage.
Oh, misses down tech. Oh, Gohan's going too
Turtle!
fast.
Turtle has to pop and also has a misdrop. Gohan might be able to complete a reversal.
Oh my. Okay. That might be a sign to slow down.
All right, but we're over halfway into the set. It's literally a first to 5. We're in SS rank territory.
We're in super speed rank, that's what I'm thinking.
This
They're
is-
gonna average like 3.7 after this.
I do like a lot of the flexibility we're seeing from Turtle's builds, where we see these like options for T-spins, but a lot of times just able to use like an overhangless S-piece or Z-piece to just keep that back-to-back going, but Gohan with the well-timed surge pop is going to catch Turtle off guard and now takes the lead back. They're only 4 games away from booking. A little bit of awkward sidewall there from Gohan. And Turtle waiting on some P-pieces.
Board. They're both looking a bit rough.
Oh, but Gohan with a lot more surge at the moment. It's going to come down to whether or not... Oh, this drops!
No.
But is that surge going to be enough of a spike? It is! And another round to Gohan.
We need to see more of that crazy form, that impeccable timing from Turtle at the beginning. Like, you know, whatever glimpse of brilliancy we saw is steadily diminished right now.
Ooh, extending on top of PCO. Look at the amount of floating T-spins there on Turtle stack. However, Gohan with the very well-timed surge pop, forcing a spike that requires Turtle to break back-to-back.
Turtle's not looking very confident. Turtle is hesitating with every placement. That's not what you want to see in this level.
Gohan just keeping up the pressure. Now we're starting to see Gohan get close to 500 versus score in a couple of these sets.
Nice.
And after what seemed like an early lead, Gohan is trying to really show this utter dominance that kind of got suppressed the first couple of rounds, but really starting to see them pull away with this set.
Gohan saw the disrespect and he was like, nah, that you don't do that to me. And now Turtle's 20 back-to-back behind.
This is a difficult scenario.
Oh my god, perfect Osman down stack from Gohan there. Is going to keep the back-to-back up. He's 25 and... Oh, accidentally breaks, but it's still enough. Not even close, it's way more than enough. And now it's match point.
And this was what? This was what, like 6-3 or 6-4? And this has just been a complete change of momentum between Turtle and Gohan. And a win here for Gohan as well. This is a look at to Grands, or excuse me, ticket to Grands.
It looked like a complete stomp at the beginning. And then Gohan just said, nah, no, that's not happening. And Turtle's already on the back.
And the team is
no,
dropped.
no.
Oh, and Gohan with a 5-game difference is going to advance into Grand Finals.
What a tragic way to end it too.
So I will say, if we start to see more of that kind of like first half Turtle gameplay in Losers Finals, I definitely think we could see the run back. Because that was play that I was not expecting to see in the slightest out of Turtle.
If he can sustain that, he's winning the whole thing.
No, so this is currently, I think, Gohan's best chance at winning one of these major events. They have 2 golds in which they placed second, and then their best platinum placing was a 3rd in Prism. So this is already their strongest platinum showing, but also has the potential to earn their first tournament win, which I think is very exciting.
I'm sure Gohan would love to have that under his belt.
Especially looking at the rest of the current player breakdown, I don't think there's many other players that have a tournament win in a major tournament. Not gonna hint that any one player has been getting a lot of those tournament wins over and over, but we'll just say it's been a difficult challenge in a lot of different events.
I sent that guy that keyboard. He broke my keyboard. This is tragic. No, actually, well, we have received word that Diao broke his wooting. F.
Oh, that was the that was the keyboard.
That was the keyboard.
Just tragic.
Yo, chat. F for Diao's wooting. Y'all.
Actually, I'm curious because we got a lot of people hanging out at different skill levels. How many of you from this doesn't have to be Tetrio related? How many of you have broken keys on a keyboard from like overstaying your welcome with like a keyboard on a? Because I'm in that department as well. I've actually broken an Arrow keyboards for how much I think and played Tetrio and other guideline titles.
Just bought my second wounding. Yeah. Okay.
I'm glad this is a common that like it's not. This isn't just like a couple of individual. This is just like this kind of game really takes a toll on like certain keys of the keyboard, and the keyboard just cannot keep up.
All right. Let's look at our next match coming out. Can we pull up the bracket? Looks like should be Shark versus OSW coming up.
So this is an interesting
sorry,
matchup. I'm curious to see because Shark is also one of the players in bracket that is much more familiar with typical guideline play, and I think has done a great job adapting that familiarity to Tetrio. However, we have Shark, who has won the very first Apple Orchard Cup, upsetting Kabuzu Pai in both Winners Finals and Grand Finals to make that happen. And OSW is currently on their best tournament run all season, looking to make it even further and grab some more points before the end of the season.
I was a little confused looking at Shark's PFP because I know he doesn't have one. Then I realized that's just the default PFP.
Yeah, it's
I
one
thought
of
he
the.
swapped out an Apple.
There was a couple people last year, I think, in TWC that had default profile pictures. I'm not entirely sure who, but I remember there was a couple, I think.
Both of our players are in the room, so we should be moving into warm-up soon. And
yeah, looks like it. Oh, no early O, so I don't think we'll be seeing a stick spin or SDPC, but I know Shark is also a big fan of the TD opening. And
no,
yep,
this
so
is
there we are.
This is actually MS2 now.
Oh, this is double MS2. Okay. Oh, OSW gets denied. A little bit of garbage there for Shark.
I don't think OSW uses MS2, but I'll take a look into this.
It's one of the TDs, I believe. I don't know if it's MS2 specifically.
It's a TD. But yeah.
I've had several people explain to me the different DD openers, and I have since forgot everything.
Nah, don't bother, man. It's not worth it.
They accomplished the same goal. They have roughly a similar PC chant. Although I guarantee you, I'm gonna get like 3 people in the YouTube comments be like, actually, there's a 0.1% difference because there's 2 extra bags it works for. All right, so.
Oh no, MS2 works with every single bag.
Oh,
I think
wait,
they're actually
what was
just
the
optimizing KPP? I think it's KPP
wait,
at this point.
what was the new like blitz looping opener that it literally works? It's like actually like a point something % difference. But I remember RTX was like losing their mind over it because it's like,
brother, you've seen my blitz score. Don't even start.
well, okay, well. Hey, for those who don't know, go ahead and check out the Blitz.
Yeah,
I promise you won't be disappointed. Well, actually, that's you may be a disclaimer, but you won't be disappointed.
Moving on, we got a game on our hands, okay? I wanted to talk about this matchup because it's a clash of very different playstyles this time, like actually a clash. Because Shark is known for his defense in CN2, and OSW is known for the absolute opposite.
Oh, I think we can definitely see that, but Shark has not really concerning themselves with clearing through garbage very quickly, but has done a tremendous job of matching OSW.
There's a fun fact about versus score. I think Garbo meant for it to be a measure of board height. So we can see how Shark has cleared like way more lines than OSW, even though they're around the same PPS. Actually, OSW might be faster, but Shark's still clearing more lines because of T-spins making the difference and sending twice the lines.
Oh, a little bit of awkward parity there for OSW, able to still keep it clean and continue the center well. Greeting for this option, finally has to break Surge way at the top of the board. The Shark able to build it up while playing defense and earns a little bit of extra garbage to their name.
Shark always on the back foot, it seems. Always playing from behind with a Surge disadvantage.
Well, but
still turning it around.
The Shark just went all the way around the globe and decided to deliver a sucker punch.
It's like he's getting barraged with an absolute bombardment of attacks from OSW, and then he sneaks in one punch, and it's like pop.
It was like an out of range error where you just loop back to like the opposite side. You just small number become very big number.
Shark has. It's wild to see how you can actually deal with this amount of pressure from anyone, especially OSW. Just known for being one of the most explosive players in Season 2.
And double quad was enough pressure to force a back-to-back throw from OSW, but Shark keeping it for a little bit longer, but...
Like I said, you gotta pair that surf with something. By itself, it absolutely won't kill, and it doesn't.
It was 35 by itself. I don't blame Shark for thinking that was enough.
Oh no. You'd want like 50 at this level, I assure you.
Well, let's take a look. OSW lets it rip with its 21, but not gonna be enough.
Wait, it might be? This is awkward. OSW just needs to keep up the pressure, and he does.
And OSW still in top 4, making waves, able to get on the board against AOC 1 champion Shark. And closes off access to that TD opener, but saves the next FPS to still build it.
Maybe one benefit of that opener is the misdrop recovery.
That's not livable. What? Are you?
No, he's gone. Surely he's gone.
Okay. It was crazy that survivability went that long, and it took multiple misdrops during that phase to actually top out OSW.
This guy thrives in the misdrops. He's seen too many of them.
I've had someone refer to OSW's encounter with drops as like already gone through all 5 stages of grief, and it's just like well past acceptance at this point.
What happened?
Surge break,
okay.
Big number. It appears 33 was enough.
Dude, he just sent OSW right to the top from the bottom. Okay. Alright, pop off, King.
Shark just had like the same day shipping of like a trip to space.
OSW returns the favor, giving him a taste of his own medicine.
Early TPs, I assume we'll see. Oh, identical board states going into the TD opener. OSW immediately blitzing through it, but Shark.
Oh, what the
play?
OSW? Wait.
What's the problem? What's the problem?
He built
There's no problem here.
Okay, fine. If you say so.
There was also, I don't know exactly where it is, but I know you did it in one of the other previous sets where they've gone for like the first part of the DPC loop.
Whoa.
Okay, never mind. Forget my point. The 44 spike there from Shark. Even though OSW had a sizable surge, just completely blown out of the water by that damage.
I do not see these coming, man. We were talking about OSW, and then OSW is just gone, and then you just turn around, you see a 41 or something on Shark's board.
Just flashbacks to the disappearing act we've seen in previous events. Just it's immediately there's nothing, and then there is everything on.
Dude, I say this guy was defensive. He took it personally. We're seeing Shark put the pressure onto OSW, and...
Are you trying to define my playstyle? Well, what if I just,
What if I just completely destroy this guy, I guess?
Alright, and again, Pop Surge first, and OSW is not able to find a skim in time. And this is a 4-game advantage right now. Very dominant showing from Shark.
Well, the last time we saw this, the losing player won the set, so I wouldn't call my shots just yet. Still a lot of rounds to go.
You do make a very strong and compelling point there, Ben.
I do. I spit my facts. That's what they hired me for.
Yeah, they didn't tell me what to spit. I tried to find facts.
One of my namesake is very much known for facts. I won't elaborate. Anyways.
Alright, C-spin there from OSW over in the side. Shark is greedily holding on to that surge. Finally lets it rip, but it's not going to be in combination with anything.
Shark is working hard for
Shark
the
is
fact that
hesitating, and that is a hesitation of death.
Vertical team. You no. The easiest continuation there. You place the T, rotate it once clockwise, and then you spin a Z under it. It's perfectly fine. It's a perfectly fine continuation. He just missed it.
Well, I definitely think Shark is able to find a lot of these next continuations very quickly in this game 10. Center wall has been used perfectly, and the T gets stuck for OSW. Cannot rotate it out.
That's what I'm saying about pairing your surge with other attacks. Shark is trying to do that with every opportunity. I don't think he's even timing them on purpose. It's like every time he has the chance to take a surge plus something, he does it.
And we've got a hexaminal hole in OSW stack over on the right side. Is cleaned up, but not in time for the garbage to be too much to handle.
He placed the O in the wrong place, he placed the S in the wrong place, and then he takes the L.
Which is an unfortunate series of events for OSW. But we are seeing the Trinity follow up there in the center. And right now, a little bit of an interesting parity sequence there that's going to force a back-to-back pop from Shark. Meanwhile, OSW, with some floating T-spin doubles, going to keep this back-to-back chain going. But will they get caught with greed?
Whoa, Mr. 5! I feel like OSW is losing a lot of confidence here, and with this playstyle, you have to have your confidence. You have to play like you're better, and right now he's not. Look at all the time that Flying Diarrhea is getting. Like, Shark has all the time in the world to recover from whatever the heck this board is. He should be able to make his way down, and it's like a millisecond frame of opportunity that he's taking.
Alright, I think Shark has finally gotten to your point of, okay, maybe the defensive stacking thing that I should. Because honestly, I mean, like, OSW hasn't like that much more in terms of like actual damage, but the effectiveness from Shark's builds is way surpassing what OSW has been doing this set.
It's kind of painful here. We need some serious 9-3 curse to hop on in. OSW is
that a thing?
Not in this game, I don't think. In some other games, yes.
There we go.
Maybe? Wait.
OSW pop surge, but it's a little bit too late. Shark has a down stack available. OSW is going to have to rebuild up that surge. Finds a multiplier to add to the smaller surge. Is enough to push Shark into disadvantage. And finally clutches out with another win. But this is still a very tough spot to be playing.
Locking in the 274 APM game? That's what we need to see. That's what you need to see. He's playing with the confidence he needs.
And Shark giving a little bit of time there. Positioning over to that side well.
In theory, perfect timing destroys OSW, but he just doesn't give you the opportunity to time. This game is real, man. You're throwing the real punches. You can't just play with theory. And that's why bigger number better.
Alright, well, at the moment, the bigger number of pieces is in OSW's favor, but Shark is making these pieces work a lot more for their favor. OSW still with another down stack, trying to send as much garbage as possible, but making sure that it's their own stack in the process.
Wait,
and, that's a really tricky board to play with. Oh, boy.
Get back down. No.
Couple of clutch clears, but not going to be enough. And OSW, this is 2 straight, but we're going to need to see OSW really turn on the Jets and get a couple more rounds close.
Honestly, it's Shark's turn to turn on the Jets. Like, what does he have to lose? This guy's 4 rounds up. Throw the freaking TST towers. I don't care. The curveball should be coming here.
Well, this is a bit of a tough spot to dig from, and that's oh, clutch clears.
What?
Oh, I didn't realize that spawned in. It appears it said, hello, allow me to introduce myself. I am survivability at its finest.
Dude, I counted him out, and he was just back in. He said, ah. It's like this guy went to Hades and then punched a freaking guard dog in the face. OSW this time getting put on a
Double
defensive.
quad. Very strong work, Shark.
The Shark!
Getting forced to use the all-spin spam for the well, but it's enough as OSW catches an eyepiece in the center.
Oh man. Oh, that was pure spaghetti right there. The Italians would be proud.
A little bit of an early misdrop there from Shark, but OSW is going to need 4 straight to push this set to deuce. I guarantee Shark would really love a crack at losers finals and get this set over with. Not going to be an easy task.
Cannot count to 4 there, that's not possible. OSW is going to have some more time to build up the surge. With the 9-0, it's going to be a bit slower, but he converts it to OST. Much easier to deal with and build back-to-back with. Going to try and keep it up.
A little bit of greed there for OSW, but... Oh, that's actually a pretty hefty amount of cheese there for Shark's board. Oh, but the S, despite how clean it works for the clutch clear, it would close off the well on the left side. So there is no downstack potential there, and OSW gets another match on the board, bringing it that much closer.
This kid is sending it. Misdrops the opener, but I don't think that one matters too much. There he finds his way out already with a 25-33 out of the gate. Shark's going to live it, but surely that hurts the confidence a little.
OSW has a little bit of a hiccup and just says that's a spin triple setup. It's just a little bit rough and is like, we're gonna turn this into a surge send. And just making it like every single voter decision, whether it's theirs or being forced by the pressure from Shark, just always making sure that it's really got a punch behind it.
Oh, he's sending it at 45.
All right, and this is a 2-point game.
Slowly but surely, OSW is bringing it back, sending it like he needs to.
I spire with my little eye a lot of IP right now on OSW's board. But the up stack seems to be setting up for a lot of T-spin doubles. Both send spikes at the same time, but OSW's is much more tremendous. 9 to 10.
It's not over yet.
This is the critical game. OSW can send it to deuce with one more. But Shark, a win here would end the set immediately and push them into losers finals.
Oh, the nerves are kicking in. OSW knows it's possible and he chokes it. No.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
What a loser semifinal set there. Shark going to emerge just by the skin of their teeth. OSW actually with higher stats across the board. But Shark,
Except
the
for the
11
most
wins,
important stat.
11 to 9 is all that matters.
You can have all the bigger numbers you want, but there's only one bigger number that matters here, and that's the big 011 up there.
However, I will still give credit where credit is due. Everyone give a hand to OSW for this 4th place finish. This is, I think, by far their highest tournament placing. If I'm not mistaken, I think their highest thus far has been like an 8. Yeah, literally. Of major events, they've got, I think, a 6th place finish in the previous Apple Orchard Cup, and of a platinum event, 2 8th place finishes. So getting 4th in a platinum event, very, very well done. Overcoming a lot of very strong talent to make it to this point. But again, Shark has won an Apple Orchard Cup in the past, and it is not without a reason, and they're advancing one more round into our losers final set.
Consistency matters most in these tournaments, and Shark is one of the most consistent players we've ever seen.
I'm surprised by Shark's consistency. I feel like Tetra is a game where it is very difficult to consistently find these, consistency is difficult in this game, all right?
I think I would put it this way. If you always make placements that put you in a pretty decent spot, we're talking about players like CZ, who basically always make the right choice. And Shark's working to play like that, which lets you be very consistent. You don't have to play like Viz. You don't have to pull absolutely alien, foreign, extraterrestrial magic out of nowhere. I don't know. Like something 1 gram of antimatter is worth $62 trillion or something. That was random. But if your placements are all easy, it lets you be more consistent. To the point where I was gonna say, This guy played on a laptop in Galactic, right? one of the-
Shark, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think while on vacation. Like, it was a crazy setup.
He played on a laptop in a car and still did so well that we were questioning whether he was just having a bad day or on the most scuffed setup of all time.
Yeah, like, if you just see, like, a random misdrop from Shark in that scenario, you don't know if that's just, like, oh, Shark made a casual drop, or just, like, the car went over a large bump in the road, right?
It really could be him having a bad day, or he's just good under any circumstance. That's really wild. Oh, Turtle is lagging. Oh my.
Well, the Turtle sails on to search for a little bit longer, combines it with the quad on multiplier. Shark desperately looking for an option to downstack and finds just enough to survive, but it is not going to be enough. And that was, there was a lot that happened in those 21 seconds of a warm-up. That is quite something.
Well, we've seen this form from Turtle. We saw it for like 6 rounds. So I'm optimistic, but I don't know if this form is sustainable. We need to see this throughout the vast majority of a set from Turtle.
Right. Oh, and Shark with an interesting decision, opting to go for SDPC spin, akin to what Turtle has preferred to do in a lot of these matches.
What the hell is happening? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Misdrop high. Oh my.
A little unfortunate there on Turtle's board. Shark gets the first game. We have early O. And okay, yep, SDPC spin from both. I do find it a little peculiar that Shark opts to go for SDPC spin to answer it, rather than MS2, but perhaps Shark sees a little bit more value in just having that exact identical opener, just kind of keeping, you know, eye for eye, mano a mano.
Wow.
And it seems to be working quite well.
There was no spike. He actually magicked that one out of nowhere. Like actually there was no spike.
Oh,
I don't believe it.
I may understand why the SDPC alternate was chosen. Because we have the misdrop as soon as Shark opts to go back to TD. Then he S triple opens up the well nicely.
I'd say SDPC spin is just definitely the best opener, maybe besides for extended. So
Really?
It's usually just a good choice to go for it.
Well, Shark looking for that multiplier, was not able to find one that would work out, but we have a lot of very great, look at the potential for a spike there at Shark's board. T-spin triple, Z single into the double quad. But even before they could get to it, Turtle having a little bit of an interesting board state, topping out in the center.
I want to see that 300 APM average Turtle form. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well,
Keep it
we're
going.
getting a little glimpse.
Yeah.
Look at that rush damage.
More of that. That's what he needs.
Turtle is grating the cheese at the Olive Garden on the salad, and Ben is just content on not saying to stop.
I love big number. Give more big number. It make dopamine go off.
Well, we are seeing Turtle definitely hit the jets a little bit. That speed is at 4 pieces per second and climbing.
Looks like it's working. Okay.
Oh my goodness, yep.
And,
oh, but Shark with the solid work. Continuing to remain relentless in survivability.
that's what I'm talking about. That's one of the best defensive players we've ever seen. It's so difficult to top out this guy, and look at these misdrops from Turtle. Shark has surge. He doesn't even need to break. Oh my.
Got a couple of just rough placements there. Shark is now up by 3 games, and actually, now that I think about it, who did send Shark into loser's bracket? Was it? Actually, wait, yeah, this is a rematch already from earlier. This is a winner semi set.
Frankly, I was asleep back then, so I'm not sure, but That's not what matters now. What matters right now is the 17 deficit that Shark is dealing with. Oh no, it's not good.
And the little
that's
surge gonna
totally-
be able to help?
No,
Oh,
no.
but that misdrop's not gonna look too good.
Wait, it could be reversed. Oh, Turtle gets out. Okay. That was scary for a bit. Wasn't sure what would happen. But like I said, you have to pair the surge with something. Like that 28 looks scary, but it was just the surge. You can't have just the surge. You can't have just the garlic.
No!
You have to have the
The
grid
ice
as
got in the
well.
center! Oh, that is really unfortunate there on Shark's board. Although, to be fair, I think we have had half the games in this set end with just some misdrop in the center that caused a chain reaction. So this is... I mean, we're running into quite literally one mistake could end a round.
Going to this from OSW is whiplash. Yeah. That's
It's
it,
how many
buddy.
misdrops can I get away with versus I will get away with 0.
Yup. Definitely. Absolutely. It's probably time to talk about the efficiency. They're working each other very hard, and usually we'd see 1 APP from both players. Here they're struggling to keep up anything relatively close.
I mean, they're getting there. That's definitely having to get worked for, and part of why we're in losers finals at this point. Shark waiting on that S piece. Oh, trying to build a little bit more of that combo. Not as much as they would have liked, but still a very solid work. Oh, but this is really good spot for Turtle.
One of the biggest adaptations that players have made in Season 2 is playing against your opponent, not just playing with them. Like, you still have the sets where both players are getting above 1 APP, but in the highest levels, as you're seeing, we play against each other. They're trying to send cheese, they're trying to harass the opponent. It's more of a multiplayer game now, and this evolution is very fun to witness.
We can see the spike there from Shark. Waits to, take some clean garbage, and Turtle right now, a little bit of trouble on this down stack, but manages to get out in the nick of time. Doesn't even need the 180 kick to open up that stack. And we are tied up at 4 games apiece.
I blinked and I was looking at that setup, and it's crazy how that just works. Turtle is cooking with these setups now, bringing it back to 4-4, and might just cook.
A little bit of
himself
not quite extended there from Shark as to help clean things up over a misdrop, but Turtle does not have a surge to defend with.
You misdrop your opener, that's usually a closer.
Oh, you misdropped your opener. Oh, where have I heard that one before?
You will misdrop your opener. Might be a team
Well-
name from some tournament.
Well, it looks like Turtle and Shark have made it past the first couple of bags. For the time being, everything looks all fine and dandy.
Oh my.
Remind me to
Turtle's
keep my
out.
mouth shut.
Oh, it's Soji over.
All right, well, Shark takes a 2-game lead. He's now over the halfway point. He needs 5 wins, and Shark could be booking their ticket into Grand Finals, securing the run back versus Turtle and earning a chance to face against Gohan to reclaim their crown.
Shark is making sashimi out of Turtle right now. Which could go both ways, but Shark is winning,
All right, we see once again the SDPC from both Shark and Turtle in this case. Shark holding off a little bit on that second T-piece, contemplating some of their decisions that they could be building for the rest of this. Oh, and that
was transition though.
that follow-up actually worked really nice for Shark. I don't even think they realized the garbage in that column. It just worked out.
What is going on with Turtle? Okay. I'm just staring at this guy's board, and every decision he's making is the most difficult one. This is not sustainable. Overcooking so hard right now. Hello?
Oh,
Turtle
the
still has
perfectly
to
timed.
Whoa, no misdrop! Double misdrop!
double eye piece, the double misdrop there from Shark, and the near one attack per piece from Turtle, able to get another game, keeps it within 2 games piece.
I'm not even sure if either player's using a strategy at this point. Like, Shark's just playing like normal Shark, and Turtle has definitely taken a massive confidence hit. Shark.
What is
No,
the...
no,
oh,
no.
oh, that's a... Okay.
No. Surely not.
I was curious what Turtle was trying to set up for that initial spike, but I think the extra little bit that was happening with Shark before gave Turtle a little bit of extra leniency on what they needed. Oh, and the garbage well is perfect for Turtle.
If anyone in chat knows which side is better KPP for SDPC spin, let me know. Because these two are building them on different sides.
Oh, that like they
insane
require less
bounce back.
inputs?
Oh, left is lower KPP. But one of them is getting cooked. Oh wow, whoa, 29.
Oh, but there's the survival
There's
again,
no key.
as you mentioned prior. Shark is that defensive king in Season 2.
Oh my.
And so 500
Reverse.
versus reverse spike.
He's just getting barraged and then he sneaks in one punch. Like pop.
I would say it's a little more than one punch in that case. It's definitely quite the sucker punch that's delivered.
It's a freaking serious punch is what you're saying. Oh, okay. Beautiful
correct.
multi. Beautiful multi there.
It is insane that we're getting like high 400, like 500 plus versus scores from like the winning player, and like that's just necessary. Because neither Shark or Turtle is faltering to anything less.
I'd say they usually prefer to time a little harder, but when your opponent is playing this fast and this consistent, you can't just count on them to not do anything for a couple seconds, so you can think about what you're gonna do. And now it's going to be all tied up as Turtle finds a massive spike to take down Shark.
And this is we are in A rank and below territory. We've got a first to 3, and this decides who makes it into grand finals.
A rank
Chances of it.
Okay, man.
The chances of Deuce are quite substantially high. We've seen, I think, 1 or 2 of them already on the broadcast. Can we add another to the count?
Looking rough here for Turtle, so much garbage to deal with. Thank goodness it's clean. Shark's going to get the chance to build some LST. Oh nope, he can keep this up. This board sucks. He's going to cancel. He might even cancel the
my
surge.
goodness.
Yeah.
Shark is just finding so many different unique all-spins to try and give him the efficiency, but finally Turtle manages to pull away from it and gets another win, and Turtle now with the lead.
I think that's the first time since the warm-up that Turtle has been 1 point up.
I think so.
Oh,
We do have an interrupt there from Shark. Oh, but also Turtle! Oh, and even more! We're
Oh
having
my.
spaghetti now on both of these boards.
Oh, the nerves are kicking in. It's time to close this out. They both know it. They know they both have a chance. And what better time to be nervous? Or what worse time, should I say?
Yeah, but keep in mind right now, I mean, both these players are looking for their first tournament win, I think, in this current season, but Shark has won an Apple Orchard Cup before. Turtle is looking to add to that.
Okay, they're building it on the same side
Perfect
now.
synchronization, waiting the same amount of time, and then sending identical. I didn't know we had synchronized swimming here on the Apple Orchard Cup podcast, but...
Synchronized opening, more like, for sure. And wow.
And Shark gets a win on free deuce. It could be another 11-9 set if Shark's able to close this out, but Turtle could make the set longer.
Both of these players have so much experience. It's not like them to falter at this point. Like, it's not even Grand Finals yet. They still have more matches to go after this. But here Turtle has to win this round. It's on
Oh,
him.
and
He has a
Shark
15
sends the
advantage.
surge
He
first.
should have broken. He should have broken it.
Is there gonna be more?
He's going to be
plans?
forced. He has to break it here, but it won't kill.
Oh my goodness, and gets the multiplier, but it's still not enough.
He waited too long. He missed his chance. And Shark might punish it. This sport is horrible for Turtle.
Oh, and the
And he
item
missed
drop over in the left. That's such a. Oh my.
One misdrop here, it's over for Turtle. He doesn't.
Alright,
It's safe,
Turtle
it's neutral.
regains composure, but that was so terrifying.
Oh my. It could have been over right there. Wait, Shark,
it-
Shark, no. Oh, that's not a good.
Oh, Shark queens!
I got it! Deuce!
All right, 10 to 10. It's now win by 2. I don't remember if we have golden point on for Apple Orchard Cup. But at the very least, right now,
Oh
Shark's
my-
not
we don't-
looking too
we don't-
hot
we
as
don't-
Turtle.
5 PPS.
5 pieces per second to regain advantage, and now the pressure is all on Shark. If they want a second Apple Orchard Cup win, they're going to have to bring another couple games under their belts. The Turtle looking to make that
Turtle-
difficult to double a misdrop right after the spike.
They're both
But
trying to
Shark
turn
right
it
now-
up. It's backfiring for Shark.
Shark gotta be so careful with that down stack.
The Turtle had one more bit of pressure that would have been over right there. And that misdrop's a little rough. Deals with it perfectly. What a beautiful
Such a
fix.
clean fix.
Should be able to make his way down. Oh, this is not clean at all. This is far below their usual playing standards. Understandable given the circumstances. But still, you want to come out of this with a win. You gotta play very well. The Turtle's
Oh.
definitely not holding up under pressure.
You can see Shark as well trying to take advantage of just a very quick spike to see if that can catch Turtle off guard, but it's not going to. Opens up to the clean garbage. This is looking fantastic.
Oh, Shark normally would have built a C-spin there. It was perfectly clean, but just very worried right now. As he should be. Freaking Deuce.
Well, again, it's like Shark now has no points left to give.
Turtle is not holding up though. What a spike. Wait, it's
And the
over.
eye
It's
is
over.
not in time.
Oh
Turtle,
my goodness.
after what seemed like an incredibly dire set, manages to pull back, utilizing the deuce, and wins it 12 to 10. And so Turtle, a little bit of the inconsistent, but that peak play is extremely high compared to the rest of the competition. And they have earned their ticket back into grand finals through the losers bracket. Now gets their chance. They've had the rematch against Shark, eliminated them twice. Now is going to have to eliminate Gohan twice if they want to emerge victorious for Apple Orchard Cup 3.
Definitely not the easiest road to take to get to this grand finals. Going against our former victor, our Apple Orchard 1 victor twice. And winning twice. That's
All right,
an insane feat.
I've also been told we've got a couple more donation shots we need to give before we head into grand finals. We've had a number of our coupons claimed, so for all of you, which keep in mind, we still got more contribution codes you can claim. As long as you have a Matcherino account, which you can hook up to many of your different socials, you can claim a code and that'll add another 25 cents to our prize pool. And to Koro as well, with a $51.51 donation, saying that they've dropped some apples, but they have dropped enough into our prize pool that we will be getting an Apple Orchard Cup 4. And we are over 50% of the way onto our next goal of revealing behind the scenes of what it takes to run an Apple Orchard Cup. So again, if you enjoy what you've been seeing tonight and want to see more, we already know the Apple Orchard Cup 4 is on the way, but if you want to keep donating as well to get some more donation incentives or to just support the players that you've been seeing tonight, the Matcherino link is, of course, one of our pinned messages to my knowledge. Feel free to donate. Again, proceeds are primarily going to our players, but obviously the donation incentives will also occur some stuff from our wonderful staff that's been putting this on as well.
Shoutouts to the data taker for $5 and a YouTube link that surely I want to click.
Have you seen it?
No?
Oh, if you haven't, well, some Garbo viewers may have seen this video. I know Garbo reacted to it last week. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. I promise it's a good watch.
I believe we're giving Turtle a short break. Right before.
I think they earned it. One of their recent matches. I mean, going up nearly, what was that, like 6-1 in winners finals initially against Gohan, and having to really just from the jaws of defeat make a really strong performance to advance into grand finals. This is definitely quite something.
Jaws of defeat is a great analogy for playing against Shark. Nice
yeah,
pun.
that analogy works a lot better than expecting. I wasn't really thinking about it, but now that you mention it, that is actually a splendid analogy.
Alright, this will be a rematch. Again, Gohan, a veteran in the tournament scene now. We've seen this kid in too many tournaments. Like, he's going places, he's going everywhere.
Well, I mean,
And
at
with
this rate,
honest
we're
experience,
definitely going to be seeing them in TWC. And probably to make it quite the Quakes, I assume we'll be seeing them in our final bracket as well, making it pretty smoothly throughout the first two phases. I'd be pretty shocked if we saw some difficulty from either of them. And given how many qualifying points that they've earned, they are going to be likely getting one of our top seeds in that as well. But
Oh, absolutely. And if there's anyone who deserves a top seed in TWC, it's these players.
this is yep.
Like, just we see these numbers. Let me put Turtle's APM into perspective, okay? That's 210 APM. Your board is 20 height, which means that every minute, Turtle can completely top you out from an empty board 10 times and a half. I don't think people realize
and an extra
how
half,
insane
but
it
I think
is.
at that point the point's been made.
Every minute, Turtle can top you out 10 times. For those who don't know what APM means, that is what it means. Like, if you did nothing and you just place one piece every few seconds, that's what happens to your board. 200 APM is insane.
Yeah, so that's yeah. For those that are unaware of like, because again, we've been seeing a lot of these stats before, and we haven't really like picked out or like try to put these into perspective. But I think that is definitely, you know, maybe it's a little late to bring this perspective in grand finals, but in case you haven't realized just the kind of caliber that we're witnessing, that is what is possible from both Gohan and Turtle. And we are going to be seeing that these players push each other to their absolute breaking points in order to try and pull off a win.
Honestly,
And,
either player could take it. Like, Gohan's definitely favored without his experience and definitely higher consistency throughout this matchup, which we have seen a lot before. Like, this is... No one should be any stranger to this matchup. But we've seen Turtle's peak, and we know Turtle can definitely surprise and take the win here.
All right, this is a lot of very nice all-spin work from Gohan. The 36 spike answered by the 30 follow-up from Turtle, and Turtle 270 APM, topping out that board. What is that? 13 times in a minute?
Well,
granted,
200 APM is 10 times, 300 APM is 15 times, so it's somewhere in the middle.
somewhere around that benchmark. But yeah, those stats are flying off the shelves, and even Gohan as well above 200 APM, but it's just not anything compared to the Turtle's burst. The burst damage there is just absolutely incredible. And when you're sitting on the other side of that board and you realize you've got, you know, essentially like a board of damage coming at you every 6 seconds, I mean, it is a behemoth to deal with.
It's almost suffocating. Like it just keeps coming. It don't stop. A constant stream of insane garbage that you have to survive, and you have to fight against it as well.
All right, we've got the. Oh, okay. It appears we're changing the OST for our grand final set. So shout outs to production. We've got a very special song for our grand finals. We've had the good luck, have fun's getting sent over, so this set is going to be underway just in a jiffy.
Players are ready. Hopefully Turtle's
Oh.
ready after what he just went through, but yeah,
Well,
he has to
considering
be.
the warm-up was 270 attack per minute, I think Turtle's ready.
All right,
At least
Turtle,
I
show us
definitely
what
hope
you've
so.
got.
Turtle's we're gonna need to see Turtle ready for this current match.
For those who
And
don't
Gohan-
know, Turtle has to win twice to win this tournament.
And so because this is a double elimination tournament, Turtle has already been eliminated once from Gohan from winners finals. Gohan is going to need to get eliminated into losers bracket and then lose a second time. So Turtle definitely has work cut out for them. But as we've seen from their burst damage potential, if anyone this tournament has the potential to do it, it is Turtle.
Hook's having a great time already. Look at that 40 spike.
The-
It does absolutely nothing, but it's a pretty big
The
number.
20 response from Gohan, enough to play defense and send some more on top.
Gohan's being very deliberate with all of these attacks. He's making sure to build some cheese throughout all of his clean. So the 200 APM garbage isn't just pressure, it's also harassment. He's making Turtle work for the down stacks.
Oh, and honestly, that garbage working really nicely for Turtle's board. Able to work with a little bit of hamburger stack, but that combo there for Gohan, I would say almost enough to earn an advantage, but I think Turtle immediately flipped the script just as quickly as that attack went off.
Deliberate. Gohan actually had the choice to go for either an Osman down stack or the combo down stack, and he deliberately chose to forego the Osman. Oh, and the pressure works out. It's a 4.4 PPS win for Gohan to take out Turtle, going 2 up already.
It's definitely a good spot for Gohan. Again, like coming from the winner side bracket, obviously the favor right now is definitely for Gohan. But you know, if you can win it in 2 sets or win it in 1, it is a lot easier to get these wins early and just try and, you know, end it before Turtle really starts to get a lot more confident, starts playing a lot more lethal.
Gohan is averaging 4.4 PPS a lot of the time. If it weren't for OSW, I'd say he's easily the fastest player in this tournament today.
Oh, and what a down stack there from Turtle. Perfectly timed to deal with that entire spike from Gohan.
He is
Gohan as
averaging
well.
4.2. I believe he averaged above 4 in the winners finals as well. It's so difficult to deal with, and Turtle cannot.
All right,
I
SC
believe
start.
both of these players have qualified to TWC.
Yes, so currently Gohan is #1 in the TWC qualifying standings with, I think, that is Abstract Art on Turtle's board. Unfortunately, everything just catching in the center. But even though Turtle's had a couple of misdrops here and there, that has been honestly not an issue until they've been playing against Gohan. Turtle right now sits at 7th overall, has already also been invited. But this tournament as well, being the last one of the month, a couple of players will actually have earned their qualifier with high placings tonight.
These players are just eating these massive spikes like they're nothing. It's like my dog eating bones. They just freaking disappear.
Going on a light snack, you know.
I swear, whenever I give her something, she's like, huh, did I just eat? That's how I imagine these players deal with these massive spikes. It's like they weren't there in the first place.
Delicious. That's 24 spikes.
Exactly. Nom.
Yep, and Gohan immediately, you can see, really turning on the jets, almost hitting that 5 pieces per second.
Oh no,
I
that's
think
a mistake!
I think had the wrong piece in mind for that kick, and
No, it's the right
might
piece,
be a
he kicked
lethal
it wrong.
mistake. Oh, gets to the eyepiece, but Turtle is having a
Oh my.
state of events on this board, is able to survive because Gohan as well needed to kind of fix things up on their own board, but
Wow.
both players just, we are having quite a set between the two.
He's out. How's he out?
I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah. This is not a play style. This is a way of life. Okay.
Is it a way of life? I feel like this cannot be intentional. This is just nerves
Live by the
flying both
misdrops,
left and
die by
right.
the misdrops. You are the misdrops.
Misdrops aren't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle.
I don't know what's going on, man. This is wild.
Oh, now I think it's too greedy. And finally, Turtle has to pay for all of the misdrops that have now finally added up. But this is 5 straight games for Gohan.
What this shows, if you can play nearly 5 PPS consistently, you win. Insane strategy by Gohan, taking my advice and averaging 5.4 for whatever reason.
Okay, well,
Slight
also
overkill.
keep in mind in the first place, right? Like, again, like some of us, especially that have watched a lot of tournaments, might be a little desensitized to, okay, so, 3 PPS used to be the norm. Now it's 4 pieces per second. Occasionally we're hitting 5, right? But, like, you forget to fathom that if you get any higher, you start placing, like, multiple pieces within a handful of frames, and the leniency for these kinds of piece placements just gets lower and lower, so you have to know exactly where your piece is going the moment it spawns in.
Really becomes a pay-to-win game. You gotta get that 240 HD monitor.
You just have more frames placed. Yeah.
That said though, Turtle looks to be in a better position for the first time this set so far. Already double digits with the back-to-back, looking to break 20 surge. Does so. Gohan on the back foot, trying his best to recover. But man, this board is just so difficult to
That's
deal
a
with.
lot
And
of
Turtle
surge.
should find the kill here. Surely that's the kill, man.
damage.
It's a lot of damage.
And now we're having a little bit of flipped script. Turtle initially, I think, had this 6-1 in winners finals, but Gohan has the lead 6-1 in grand finals.
Get that confidence up, man. You need it. Everyone wants that underdog win.
No, I don't think Gohan does in this case. Like, don't quote me on that, but I think Gohan may want the win. And they're definitely making a strong case for it. There are now 6 games up, 7-1.
That would be a Tetra League set. And like you said, we're now in A-Rank territory with Gohan.
Turtle still has Turtle has a lot of work cut out for them. They might have to win this set and another, and that is, well, it's a good start.
Whoa.
5.5 over 250 attack per minute.
Yo, Westbrook? Okay. What's that?
If you can pull off the 6 pieces per second LST, and you have that as an option, might as well try it. And again, like we've seen with a couple of sets as well, that like players were not like overtly relying on speed, but a lot of players that tried to play slower and take advantage were having a bit of trouble against some of the speed demons in bracket. The clutch win from Turtle,
No. Oh my.
trying to stay alive.
This is turning into an absolute stomp. Turtle's going through the meat grinder, the food processor. Put through the ringer, the cheese grater. I don't know, I missed her or something.
Well, having a little, not able to really build up a lot in that back-to-back, but go on. Save that back-to-back, but for what? All right, and Turtle grabs another 8-3, still a pretty sizable deficit. But we've seen previously as well, Turtle is able to get a lot of rounds in quick succession, whether on the offense or defense.
When you're winning is when the nerves start to kick in. I think Gohan's feeling the burn right now. Meanwhile, Turtle just has nothing to lose. So he might as well just send it. Wait, no eyepiece.
Can I get to the down
Yes,
second time?
Wait.
Oh
Wait.
my!
Okay. Clutch clears? Thank you for adding them back. These are so fun to watch. Not enough though.
I mean, like, we are seeing, like, some of just, like, it appears almost flawless play from Gohan, just finding all spins while keeping the T-spins open consistently. Oh, Turtle there with the
Whoa.
And you can see why the STS spin timing works wonders when you're able to get it done. Lead is still within 5, but Gohan only needs 2 more wins to close out Apple Orchard Cup. But Turtle in no position to let this event go.
Turtle needs a lot more 300 APM games to make this happen.
Oh, the T
Got a
locks
long
over
road
the
ahead of
side. That's
him.
going to cut off the option.
Oh jeez. Gohan's playing a sprint. Meanwhile, Turtle's running a marathon.
Turtle's going to need a lot more help from just a hair in order to win this tournament out. Able to get a little bit of that early preemptive spike. Prevents Gohan from building up Surge, but not forever.
Oh my. What a way to go out. That's so
11.
dominant from Gohan.
11-4 in grand finals. Which I believe was actually pretty close from winners finals as well. But what a performance. And yeah, just like that, Gohan, the first tournament that they have won as a gold or platinum all season. Congratulations to our already #1 Gohan, and as well to Turtle for making it thus far. They add to their 2nd place in a platinum event, so that's now 2 of 3 platinums 2 of 4, and 2 of them they place 2nd place, getting the silver medal. Wonderful stuff from both Turtle and Gohan. As the smoke clears, you can see Gohan really turning up towards that latter half of the set. We saw Turtle trying to get some ground, but Gohan consistently in the lead the entire time, maintaining that consistency. And that is going to be their first tournament win, so congrats to them once again. And Gohan is immediately going to go eat.
In the game, by the way, it says 222 APM average. In game.
That's a lot. That's a lot of average. That's a big number.
Definitely a well-deserved win coming in from Gohan. If you can keep up this kind of form for so long, you just deserve to take the tournament. But of course, well played from Turtle. Good shout. What do you do against that, really? Very well
Hope
played.
and pray. I mean, like, we saw a little bit of Turtle trying to, get a couple of those early STPT spin spikes in, which worked on a couple of instances. But again, just whenever Turtle ended up using, like, all of their resources, if Gohan still had a Surge left over, usually Gohan ended up being in the better scenario when all the smoke cleared. It's hard to come back when you've got a player like Gohan all spin farming and bringing up that Surge without much to do in response. Actually, wait. Are you live as well, or how should we do these talking points? We everyone don't go anywhere. We got a couple talking points, and these are also relevant for you because they're about LAN tournament. So for people that are looking for this kind of action in person, we got some news for you. I mean, you're allowed to unmute or talk these two. I mean, if you want me to do talking points with that, I can do that. But I mean, I don't think I have a preference of who does the talking points as long as we give them proper shout outs. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wait, what are we? Wait, what is?
Dave will go for it.
Are we?
Go for it.
What? Wait, what am I? Am I doing shoutouts or are we doing wait?
Hey guys, this is Andrew. I'm covering for Promo. He couldn't make the stream today. I'm the streamer. That was a great set, great tournament. Props for everyone who played and commentated in the tournament. So we're going to give the
Oh,
we're
thank
going to
you,
show the
Gabe.
credits. Leading organizers, Promo. He created Apple Orchard, his own personal server. You can visit it at somewhere in his Twitch channels. And he made the graphics concepts. Thanks also to Cheese Whiz and Dingo. Cheese Whiz made all the graphics you've seen on, basically all the graphics you've seen today, and Dingo picked out the music, graphics concepts, and I cannot read that. I gotta make this bigger. Oh, and he made the background cycle that you're seeing during the stream. Also, shoutouts to Azura, Horizons, and Ben XT. Azura made the logo, made the player card draft, and helps with organizing and coding assistance. And we also have Ben, who also helped with bracket setup and organizing assistance. Thanks to them. And thank you for Wiley for making our starting brackets go smoothly. On to our second credits. Our commentators. Thank you to our... This tournament couldn't happen without our commentators. We have Quick and Spartan Red Lyra for our first block, commentating top 8, and then we have block 2, who you just heard from the Double Taker and Ben XT. Thanks to them, and I'm gonna pass it to you to... Wait, not yet. I've got some other stuff to promote. Badges.
Also, short shout out as well to the Garbo raid. I know Garbo was also restreaming the event. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you, Garbo, for the additional content.
Badges. Thank you for Pokidaga, who designed and made our badges. They look so cool. They look like apples. Look at them.
They're very nice apples. Although
Python will be receiving our gold badge. 500 will be receiving a silver, and then Shark will be getting the bronze one. And last but not least, who to credit? Fiverr Guy! This is the only graphic you've seen. We've used it on every single Apple Orchard Cup, and we're using it again. Shoutouts to Fiverr Guy. We love Fiverr Guy. We can't hear you. What did they mean? Do I need to get closer? They can hear me, right?
Yeah, talk a bit louder.
Oh. Hello? Fiverr Guy. Somebody post the Fiverr Guy's link in chat. But shout outs to them. And I will pass it back to Garbo and Davo to promote our next set of announcements.
Yeah, this is Garbo.
Oh,
Oh, Garbo, I didn't know you were on broadcast. Oh, welcome back.
Wait, what?
Yeah, just beat Ben
Oh,
to take
Ben and Davo,
the
my bad.
championship,
Oh, shoot.
and I will be qualifying for TWC. This is Garbo.
Alright,
Oh, you're making requests for TWC? Yeah, Garbo. What are your plans next couple of tournaments? You gonna be playing in these? We're gonna start seeing some Garbo action.
I don't need these points. I already got first seed.
Well, for those that are looking to get more TWC points, you can actually get points from some of our LAN tournaments, such as Full Tilt. So this will be Hummingbird Nest's first LAN event. Many players that have been participating in a lot of different events, especially the UN X rank events, know and value the consistent presence of Hummingbird Nest in this community. This LAN is going to be held in the Philippines. So for those of you out around that area, this hopefully will not be as difficult to commute as some of our previous LANs that we've had. A lot of them in certain areas. This will be a single day event, but we'll have 3 different brackets. We'll actually be featuring TEC Zone Battle, the Silver Qualifier in Tetrio, as well as, I believe, what could be Nutris's first LAN appearance as well. So very excited to see how that bracket goes. And one of the other bonuses as well, if you're in the area for this event, it is completely free as long as you register through the forum. This is a very rare occurrence where if you live near this LAN, you can attend for free. And our next LAN as well that we have, I believe we have Tet at, I think. Or yeah, TET at NUS. Maybe, I don't know if that's an abbreviation.
Probably, yeah.
But we'll be having so this will be a LAN in Singapore, a 2-day LAN. I'm not sure if the Tetrio bracket will be on both days, though I would probably be safe and just plan for both. No rank cap, no nothing. This will be, I think, only a $5 entry fee. But they've got a bunch of other nice things going on with this. The Discord server registration, stream, and all of that. They provided links as well, which I'm not sure if we'll be posting all of them in the chat, but for those still looking for them, I believe we will be showing them and kind of spreading them around in the Apple Orchard Cup server, and I assume MMC News will probably also highlight this in the future if you are looking to learn more about this event. And again, I am also just very happy to see, because I feel like we've had a lot of like Tetrio and other like block stack or guideline land take place, but they've all kind of like been repeated in the same location. But I'm happy to see them start to pop up in a bunch of different locations to make sure that, like, again, we got people that live all across the globe that participate in a lot of our online. And we're starting to have lands to really cover a lot of the different, player base hot zones, I guess. So very happy to see these from, TED and US as well as Full Tilt. And if you live near these, I would definitely consider going to LAN, especially if it would be your first opportunity. Sorry, I did a lot of the... I probably shouldn't have shared the talking.
We will be raffling out Tetrio supporter, I believe. We're setting that up right now.
Oh, is that what's getting settled in the background?
Yep. For those who don't know, if you played in this tournament, I believe you have a shot at winning Tetrio supporter.
I see. I guess that makes it a little bit unfortunate on our end, but for anyone that has participated, this is good news.
Read donos.
Did we get more donos? Hold on. Or did we just go
them.
along the list of reading? Hold on, I gotta re-pull up the metric. Let's take a look. Have we had more? We might have had some more code claims as well. Yeah, we've got. So for those again that have not participated or done anything with the Matcherino, we have 11 of 50 codes remaining. That's an extra $2.75 that we can add to our prize pool. Doesn't cost you a thing. Those are codes that, again, just because of our consistent, partnership with Matcherino for some events, that we're given that opportunity. So please help us take advantage of those 11 remaining contribution codes. And so I think Koro was the highest contributor for Apple Orchard Cup 3 with $51.51. We also had Garbo with the $50 donation and Cheese Whiz with the $40 donation and coupon redeem. So I guess in that case, I know two people who, Koro as well also. Well, I know one person that hasn't redeemed a contribution code yet. That definitely could. And I think we're getting the wheel up as well. Wheel reveal, I guess. I'll read through a couple of quick names as well of individual donations. We got Joykill06, Banana Bagel, and Josh as well, I think, also providing some donations to the prize pool as well.
Alpha H, sketchy? Oh my, okay.
All right. And so that's the first of how many?
Sketchy.
And also, is that the 1 month or the 2 month? I assume we're doing the 1 month ones first. At the very least, Alpha H, congratulations. You're at least getting 1 month of supporter. Okay, so this is a 1 month supporter giveaway. Congratulations. But yeah, so we got a couple more spins. So 3 more spins will be gifting 1 month to each of the winners for this giveaway. They'll get 1 month of supporter. The second, Tatoes!
This is rigged, bro.
Wait, was Tatoes top 8? I forget. Did Tatoes make it on stream? I have to go back to the bracket. I think Tatoes was like just shy of making the top 8. So Tatoes as well also had a really good showing today. But yeah, Tatoes, congrats! You are earning 1 month of Tetris supporter simply for participating in Apple Orchard Cup. We've got 2 spins more for 1 month of supporter dono, and then after that we'll be doing 2 final spins, which those last 2 will be getting 2 months of Tetrio supporter.
Oh, no way.
And our third spin goes
that
to
might be a
Shark.
respin. Is it? No, it's not. Okay.
I was gonna say,
No, we're just doing
I don't
this.
think they got supported by default for making top 3, so I think Shark just is gonna get another extra month.
Okay,
so
then.
Shark, congrats! Not only on the 3rd place finish, which was again spectacularly done, but you're also getting another 1 month Tetrio supporter. All right, let's see what this next spin if we're gonna get another top 16 player in our bracket. Take a look, spin, the wheel is going around and around. Where is it stopping?
Yes! Hell yeah. I love this guy.
All right. That's to,
Alright, now for the big ones.
I am curious if, for the next, we're gonna get, I feel like this one, I'm gonna get, like, Tetrio individuals that I just have never heard of before, or have just, like, seen in bracket today. I'm very curious if that's gonna be the trend. I kind of hope it is. So the next 2 giveaways that we have, these ones will be 2 months of Tetrio supporter. So getting double the benefit of our previous 4. And
Gaming. Skelly. Gaming.
gaming, all right. Congratulations, you will be awarded. You'll be. I mean, to be fair, they are going to be back to gaming quite nice. 2 extra months of Tetrio supporter. We've got 1 more
our
spin to
last
raffle array. The
one.
last 2 months of Tetrio supporter going to
Brian?
where is it?
Brian.
All right, Brian. Brian. I think Brian Durr.
Brian. We did our best.
I'm sorry. You can yell at us later and tell us how it's properly. I apologize. But congratulations on your 2 months of Tetrio supporter. And again, for all of you that decided to not only participate, but also tune in to our live broadcast, whether you're watching through any of our players that were streaming the set or beyond, thank you so much for tuning in to another production of Apple Orchard Cup. On behalf of everyone on staff, thank you so much. It's been an absolute blast being here on the mic with Ben. Honestly, I think the last time I got to cast was at least over a year ago, so it's been great catching up with Ben. Hope
It's been a while.
yeah. And then we've got the donor screen now starting to scroll through. So this is again to all of our players who have, all of our wonderful donations that have been given to us for Apple Orchard Cup 3. And again, this is going directly to our players, and with the amount of donations that we have seen, this will help to get another Apple Orchard Cup down the line. So keep an eye out for that. Not sure if this will be in time for another TWC event, but given the success of 2 and 3, I would say definitely look out for our 4th iteration. Did it disappear? Dono wall disappeared. The wall was transparent.
We are looking to raid someone, except we are having mild difficulties raiding someone. There is no one live.
Oh, okay.
Looks like we will be just ending the stream here. So again, thanks everyone for coming. It's been a blast. Hope you enjoyed the tournament.
And is there any other final takeaways to things before we head out for the night? All right, well spoken.
Yep. Thanks
All right.
all. Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye for now.
What?
Oh, do we have a raid? Maybe.
Hmm?
Hold on. I know I told everyone good night, but we might have a raid. I mean, if they're live,
Re.
Oh,